when you start.
Okay, yeah. So we live right now.
Okay.
All right. So we are back at it again, part two.
What's up, y'all?
And all right. And so what we're gonna start, we're gonna just kick right in, man. We'll get right in because we're running a little late. So we want to talk about the governing body. Um, they're admitting they're not inspired or they are infallible. Touch on a couple
Uh-huh.
of things, but yeah. So yeah, just gonna jump right in, man. What's your thought about the governing body coming out? Because that's one thing that helped me wake up a little bit. But what's your thought about that,
Yeah.
man? The governing body admitting that they not
Yeah.
fallible.
Well, that was I already kind of figured that they weren't inspired just from my own research and my own like Bible study. You know, a lot of things that they were saying wasn't adding up. But yeah, the governing body admits that they're not inspired. That should be a wake up call to anybody in the organization. Really, I
Mm-hmm.
believe is and don't quote me because I study so much stuff and do so much research. I might have, a few things I might say might be off by a month or a year or two, but I believe it was 2015, 2016 in the broadcast, in the JW broadcast, and also in the Watchtower. They said that they were, uninspired. But here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing: up until 2015 to 2016 or whatever it was, they were saying that they were inspired, and the things that they were saying were breaking up families, through the fellowshipping. The things they were saying were causing deaths through like blood doctrines and things of that nature. So they were causing people to die and lose their family. And also
Mm-hmm.
for those, because like I say, most of what I say is kind of geared toward people that has been in the organization for a long time and know about the organization because they were in it. Okay, anybody who was like that, like I just mentioned, they know they always, throughout decades, they always spoke about new light. Okay, if you're not inspired or you uninspired, where was new light coming from?
Mm-hmm.
How were you guys channeled? If now you coming out saying you're not inspired, okay, but how are you guys channeled? Where were you getting this new light from that you were claiming was from inspiration? That's something that's something you got to think about,
Mm-hmm.
because like I was saying, that caused people to die, and also the governing body, I never saw them apologize to anybody that lost their life. They never apologized to anybody who died from doctrines that they made up under, claiming to be inspired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now the thing about the inspired, they had never. Now I know far as my thing, they never really directly said they were inspired. They used another word. It was another word they used as far as giving people the idea that they had some type of special communication. Another word they used because I don't think I ever read where they directly said we were inspired. I
Yeah,
don't think I ever
yeah.
read that.
Yes, they
Yeah. So
did. They did. They always claim to be God's channel. They claim to
yeah,
be
there you
God's
go.
spokesman. Yeah, to see that
Yeah,
they always call themselves the channel, and
yeah.
they did. They did say that they were inspired several times in the past. They said that the information comes from Jehovah, then it goes to Jesus, and then it goes to the governing body, and then
Hmm.
it goes to the elders and the ministerial servants. They've been saying that for what for decades.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah,
throughout,
but
like I'm saying, for people who were in are or were in this organization, they all know that. They
yeah.
because they read the publications, they studied the Watchtower every Sunday. There's many lessons that say all of that.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. What's going on? XJW 144,000. Yeah, he's in here from I guess from Boston. All
yeah.
right.
What's up,
Yeah, yeah,
everybody coming in the chat?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
what's up,
So
XJW 144,000 and Geary or Gary Kunkel.
cool. Yeah, yeah. I
Take
think
no
he was. I think he.
criticism.
Yeah, I think he was on for a minute, but he probably got off. But
Okay,
yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, they claim they was the channel. So
right.
when you say you were the channel, what is that? Because that sounds occultic to me, like
It is.
channel. Yeah,
It
yeah.
is. Now, I don't wanna speak too much on that because I know we were talking about doing more videos. Maybe like on another live stream, I get more into that, the stuff I researched and found out. about the actual cult ties of the Watchtower, which is kind of it's very it's not kind of it's very disturbing. But like I said, we'll talk.
mm,
I don't want to talk about that now. But
mm,
when they call that stuff a channel, that is something to do with spiritism.
mm,
I mean, what are you channeling? You channeling
mm,
something that you can't see, getting
mm,
information from something that's in a spirit realm or on a spirit level, and
mm,
that is an occult term. But like I say, when you dig real deep, like I did and like so many other people did, you'll
mm,
get to the bottom and uncover what and how they were actually channeling this stuff. But
mm.
for now, I kind of move on. But before I do, I just want to say, why do you think so many of the prophecies, that the JW or Watchtower organization prophesied about didn't come true? Because they were channeling,
Mhm,
but who was the father of the lie? They were channeling, but they like I just mentioned, they admitted in 2015 that they basically aren't inspired. So it basically meant that they weren't channeling anything from God or Jesus, because if that's the case, they'd be inspired. Just like the
But
people
I
that
tell you,
wrote the men that wrote the
I
Bible, the men that wrote the Bible were inspired. They were
mm,
talking to and getting visions and communication from God. It was no doubt about it. It wasn't like they was like, oh yeah, we getting information, but shoot, we don't know where it's coming from, or we can't tell you where it's coming from. No, it was like no doubt about their inspiration.
mm.
That's all.
Yeah, they taking SGA to guess. I mean, I could tell you what they channeling. They
Right.
channeling that doggone whiskey. The what's that scotch that dude was buying from that doggone store? They was channeling that spirit every
Yeah.
Wednesday night. Yeah, so I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
when you make them educated guesses, yeah, a lot of stuff ain't gonna come true. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like they gonna try to interpret it as time go on. They had to change it because they
Right.
making the best guess that they can, but according to what they see. You can predict the
Right.
weather. I mean, you could go outside and predict the rain. See clouds, you automatically assume it's gonna rain. So that's what the government body doing. They're looking at the news and see the clouds, and when it don't come true, they go, oh, we got new light. No, you never had no light, man.
Well, the truth don't change, man. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
something that's true. If something is true, it's true. You know what I mean? Truth,
Mm-hmm.
truth don't,
Exactly.
truth don't change. If truth
Exactly.
changed, that mean that it was either a lie or it wasn't true. It's just, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
a kid can understand that. So this is bottom line on that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
something else
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
made me wake up is the fact that Jesus should be worshipped, and the Watchtower tries to. Well, they don't try. They do. The Watchtower hides the fact that Jesus is a God that should be worshipped. For example, I kind of touched on it last time, but Hebrews chapter 1, verses 6 through 8. Of course, that's speaking about basically the identity of Jesus, and God said that angels should worship Jesus at Hebrews chapter 1,
Mm-hmm.
verse 6 through 8. Now, God said that angels should worship Jesus. Angels should worship Jesus. Hebrews 1, 6
Mm-hmm.
through 8. So if
Mm-hmm.
angels worship Jesus, why do they try to make it where it's wrong for us to worship Jesus if angels worship Jesus? Not only that, Hebrews chapter 1, verse 6 through 8, that passage mentions Jesus' kingdom. It mentions that Jesus has a kingdom and he has all authority. And also in that passage, Hebrews chapter 1, 6 through 8, God, his father, refers to him as a God with a capital G. Not a God, he refers to him as God with a capital G. Now, this is,
Mm-hmm.
of course, in the King James Version or any other Bible that hasn't been, tampered with and basically mutilated, which is blasphemy, by the Watchtower. Like honestly, Juwan, I'm gonna just say this, man. I don't even read the New World Translation no more because for one, I already read it so many times. That's why I know it's not true when I compare it to other Bible translations. So I'm basically mentioning scriptures from like the King James version, the other version that haven't been tampered with. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was saying in Hebrews 1, 6 through 8, God says that Jesus has a kingdom. And we know that when Jesus died, he said, when he was ascending to heaven, he said, all authority has been given to me in heaven. So that's when God gave him a kingdom. But the Watchtower does what? The Watchtower and it says it on the front of they magazines. The Watchtower announces what? The Watchtower announces Jehovah's kingdom.
Joe was kind of, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
Bible don't say well, the Bible don't say that.
yeah.
The Bible don't say that Jehovah got a kingdom. The Bible in Hebrews 1:6-8 say that Jesus got a kingdom. And the
Mm-hmm.
Bible in Hebrews 1:6-8 say that Jesus is God. Hebrews 1:6-8 say that angels worship Jesus. Hebrews 1:6-8 in the New World Translation, they changed it. They changed
Mm-hmm.
the word
There you
worship
go.
to obeisance.
Yeah, yeah. Obeisance. And what's the difference? What's the difference between obeisance and worship?
Obeisance, doing in my opinion, it's a big difference. I would say somebody doing obeisance to somebody is like for example, okay, I'm gonna take the pledge of allegiance. Like somebody like doing the pledge of allegiance, like putting their hand on their heart and like standing there like for a little song for like 1 or 2 minutes. That's like doing obeisance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's like basically
Yeah.
like showing obeisance is like basically like showing respect. But see, that's not worship. Worshiping something involves like your whole life is dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
Worshiping
Yeah.
something means you making sacrifices for it. Worshiping something means you praising it. It's not just you showing
Mm-hmm.
like some little lip service or like some little
Mm-hmm.
ceremonial, respect. That's what
Okay.
obeisance is. So it's a
Yeah. So I
big
mean,
difference.
yeah. Okay. So what exjw said is what they usually use. This is the tools of a code. Is
Right,
redefining words. They use word
right,
salad. So basically, obeisance and worship, they can have kind of similar meanings according to the context. So this is what codes do, and Joe Witness is no different. They'll take words that can have similar meaning and they exaggerate that word. And so the word will become the main focus of the point. And so while witnesses going out trying to defend it, they arguing over words is what the witnesses are doing when they go door to door. This is what happens. And while you arguing over words, you lose the whole argument of what the whole meaning is, what you're going at. So while we're sitting here arguing about did people bow down to Jesus, did they worship him, you forget the whole point of what the message is. And that's what codes do. They keep you so busy deflected on arguing on words, you forget about the whole That's what the watchtower does. That's a tactic. You know what I'm saying? So that
right.
that's what
That's why it's important to study the Bible and read the Bible on your own because, like
mm,
the Bible clearly says that Jesus has a kingdom. It clearly says that Jesus is worshipped by
mm,
powerful spirit creatures. But
mm,
yet, the Watchtower basically denies that by saying you should worship Jehovah, which Jehovah is not even God's name. Jehovah,
mm,
the name of the word Jehovah was actually created by a Catholic monk, and most of us
mm,
know that.
mm,
The word Jehovah, they stole the basically the Watchtower stole the word Jehovah from the Catholic Church.
mm. Yeah, the main ones they
Right.
talking
That's
about,
not
right?
even
Yeah,
that word.
the
Jehovah is a Catholic word. That's not
yeah,
even
yeah. That's
right.
crazy. But it's like how
Right.
how you stealing from a religion you so badly talk about, you so badly bash, but you want to be like them. It seems like the Watchtower might be the
Right.
Catholic Church so bad. They
They
copy
do.
everything about them. Yeah, even the hierarchy system, the
Nah,
Pope,
not deep.
the
Uh huh.
yeah the
Go
governing
ahead.
body is basically the Pope. The governing body is basically the Pope of the Watchtower, man. If
Right.
it
They
comes down
they
to
are
it, yeah, yeah. So
now.
they
In that regard, I think that they actually worse. I think that they worse than the Pope
mm-hmm,
because well, nah, I said that the wrong way. The Pope, the Pope does say he's inspired, and the Pope does say he's infallible.
mm-hmm,
But the Watchtower used to say that. They used to say what the Pope was saying that they inspired and they're infallible. And the Pope,
mm-hmm,
like I said, the Pope still says that. But the Watchtower did finally come out, and the only reason why the Watchtower came out and had to basically admit that they're not inspired, because so many things they said in the past didn't happen. So many false prophecies
mm-hmm,
and so many things that was saying killing people. They basically
mm-hmm,
had to be like, look, okay, we got to just be like, look,
yeah,
we're not inspired. You know what I'm saying? We don't need 50
mm-hmm,
million lawsuits coming in here, everybody suing us because they was believing what we were saying under us
yeah,
saying we was inspired. So basically, they had to do that. Basically, that was like a legal move. Like you got to
yeah, yeah,
understand
yeah, yeah,
everything, everything that this organization or this company Watchtower does it's to basically protect themselves from getting sued more than what they are getting sued now. I mean, it's a
Mm-hmm.
company. So basically,
Yeah, yeah,
everything you see them doing is just to protect they self from getting sued. So they
yeah.
had to come
Exactly.
out and say,
Yeah,
you know what, hey, we not inspired. They had to come out and like say that in writing and like on the
yeah,
broadcast, so
yeah,
people
yeah.
won't be you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's damage. Yeah, it's damage control. It's same thing.
Basically,
What's his
yeah,
name?
right,
Yeah, yeah. Same thing Jeffrey Jackson did when he stood on stage. He'd sit there and try
right,
to throw everybody else under the bus. He's the one
right,
making the final decision, but he gonna sit there and act like, oh, that's not in my department. Fool, that is
right,
your department because you head of everything. Like it don't matter if you're not specific part of the department. Every department of the Watchtower Corporation has to go through you guys before they gotta get your final stamp of approval. So it's like whatever y'all talking about, man. Y'all sitting there throwing these elders under the bus and they don't even
right,
see. Yeah. What's
right.
going on, King of Faders? Hey, you ever watch King of Faders?
King of Fighters, I have heard of you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have seen you. I have seen King of Fighters here and now on YouTube. They
yeah,
had to
yeah,
change the narrative after all the proof. Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. But go, yeah, check
That's
his
all they
channel.
do.
Yeah, check his
Yeah,
channel out sometime you have time. Check it. He got some cool stuff too. Yeah, but anyway,
yeah.
yeah,
I seen
go.
him.
Yeah, give me.
Yeah, I seen King of Fighters because that name is really cool. By the way, I like the name. That's actually a cool name. I seen his name in like comment section because I visit. Oh, and like I said, I'm gonna touch on it now. We got so much to talk about, but toward the end, I'm gonna talk about all the channels that I visit and all the channels that help me kind of wake up. And like I say, I was seeing that name, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a name I use. I was seeing King of Faders and like comment or so. That's why I did see him before. But one of the next things I want to talk about, we talked about the governing body admitting that they're not inspired. That should be a big wake up call to anybody because basically,
Mm-hmm.
if they're not inspired, what does that tell you? Think about it. If they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
inspired, that basically tells you that everything that they've been telling you is just their opinion. So you will
Okay.
follow imperfect man's opinion. So next, Jesus
Yeah.
should be
Okay.
worshipped, and that's
Yeah. Well.
evident.
Well. Okay. Before we
Mhm.
move on, though, I want to ask something because this is very as far as the mindset of Jehovah's Witness. 8 million or how many Jehovah's Witnesses they read the same watchtower as you and me. How did that
Right.
go over their head? How did that part go over their head?
Well, here's the thing, Jumangi. I'm glad you asked that question. It didn't go over their head. It didn't go over their head. A lot of Jehovah's Witnesses are trapped, and they're trapped because of their families. They know that this is not the truth, but they're trapped because if they leave, they'll basically lose their mama. Someone might lose their wife. They're basically like held hostage because some of that family don't want to wake up. So that's why it's what PMO is, physically and mentally out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why it's a lot of that because a lot of them see stuff like that, but they can't say nothing. If they
Mm-hmm.
say something, go up to an elder in your congregation if you go to the hall and be like, man, brother, these just like some white dude's opinion in New York. Why are we following
Mm-hmm.
this? I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you, I guarantee you, you will be in the judicial committee. It will be
Mm-hmm.
three elders like on the I don't know if they're gonna be on Zoom, they're gonna be on somewhere talking to you. Like, man, brother, we're gonna have to kick
Uh-huh.
you out the flock. I guarantee you. So you can't look, Jumangi, everybody. This is a cult. You can't just you can't act like that inside of a cult. Like I say, a cult is like the military. A cult is like it's run like the military. Just like if you're
Mm-hmm.
in the military, if you got beef or you got some kind of problem, or if you don't like your drill sergeant, how you doing this and that, you can't do nothing about that. You can't be like, man, I don't like what he said. They're gonna be like, man, what? Give me 500 push-ups, fool, and then run
Mm-hmm.
around, and then run track for like 5 miles. You're gonna get a
Mm-hmm.
punishment. It's like the army, dude. You can't just do say what you want to say in the code. It's like the
Yeah.
military.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, you talking about the PMO, the physical end, but I'm talking about there are
Yeah,
some that actually read that, and if you actually show them that in the thing, they'll
yeah,
still do the cognitive dissonance. Like
right.
that's not a big deal because this is not the first time they say. I think they had an article back in the '70s that actually said they weren't inspired. There's an article back in the
They
'70s
had
that
a lot
actually,
of them. They
yeah,
had some newer than that.
yeah. So when people read that in the '70s, earlier before that. and they still was hanging on every word.
Right.
It still went over their heads that, okay, we're not inspired, but we expect you guys to hang on our words and live and die by our words. How did that, like I mean, you could say I'm not inspired, but these people will go into a doggone hospital and their life is online and they won't take a word because the governing body told them this is what the Bible say.
Right.
If you're not inspired, you're no different from a doggone Bible commentator or any other pastor on TV. You're no different from anybody who's reading the Bible and trying to guess at what the Bible's saying. So,
Right.
but we don't live and die by these people. Like I can watch Joe Osteen. He tell me don't take a blood. A lot of people are not gonna listen to that.
Right.
So it's yeah. So it's like the cognitive dissonance, and it's like I just feel that the way they write these articles, they
Yeah.
bury the truth. They bury the truth about themselves within so much clutter that you are lulled to sleep by the time you get to the truth. You understand what I'm saying? They put so much
Yeah.
information in the front of it. They talk around the issue that by the time you get to the real issue, you so bombarded with that issue that you overreach. I think that's what they did when they put that we're not inspired. Like what paragraph was that in? When you looked at that thing, you looked at the article and said not inspired. What
Yeah.
paragraph was that in?
I mean, nobody would probably remember that unless they got it in the front of
Mm-hmm.
them. But
Yeah,
but
that was
Jumanji,
it was at the end. It was almost at the end. I think it was paragraph 17. And I'm saying
right.
that by the time you get to paragraph 17, your mind is already like, I'm through with this because you looking up so many scriptures, you're looking up all this stuff and all everything else they're talking about. Your mind is pretty much out of it by the time you get to paragraph. You know those long meetings. I mean, at
Yeah.
the watchtower at the end at by the I think the last 15 or 30 minutes of the meeting, your mind's not even really in it no more. I mean,
Right.
you ready
But
to
see
sing the
that's the
song.
danger. That's the danger though. That's the danger though, because your mind might not be in it, but you being brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
your mind works subliminally too.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
you can be
exactly.
you can be in a room, you can be in a room and be thinking about something else, but you
Mm-hmm.
hearing all this crazy stuff in the
Exactly.
background that's still going into your brain.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how your
That's how
mind
you
is set up.
yeah,
Right,
that's how
right,
you program. But that's why I
right.
think that's what I'm saying. That's why I think like when you talk about the I think a lot of primos seen that primo.
Yeah.
Primos, I think a lot of primos seen that and they
Yeah. I know
caught
what you're
on to
saying.
that.
I know
But
exactly what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, but I think the other ones who are fully in, I think that's why
Right.
there's so much content because the watchtower knows how to
Now you know
program
what?
and they know about it. Yeah, they know that subconscious is still going on.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean
yeah.
the people that run the watchtower, by the way, the watchtower is not run by the governing body. I'm gonna just
Mm-hmm.
say that first of all. It's not run by the governing body. It's not. The watchtower was run by men that are experts and probably went to school for years and studied psychology. The watchtower was run by people who know how to run and control people who know how to run the code. To do that, you have to be an expert in psychology.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's run by. The
Mm-hmm.
governing body is in control. The governing body is in control of what's called the Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
only part. That's the only part that they're over, and I know that because I went to I served at Bethel. I served at
Mm-hmm.
Bethel 2 times, and every time the 2 times I went, I got a letter. And even way back then, I was like, "What is this? I never. What? Who is that? I never seen that." On the letter, it said Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. And I
Mm-hmm.
never saw that until I went to Bethel. And I'm like, okay, that's the part of the governing body. The governing body is over like the teaching, basically like the so-called spiritual indoctrination part. But the
Mm-hmm.
rest of the organization is run by actual men who went to school and know how to like run businesses. These
Mm-hmm.
men are like this organization is run by like lawyers,
Okay. Yeah.
people
Okay.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
actually went to
So
school and stuff like that. These men, these 7 to 8 men you see on the broadcast, they don't run this organization. That's just like a
yeah.
front.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. So yeah. Like All right. So like when you say the Christian congregation, like when you
Yeah,
see the corporation, like what really makes a decision for the corp is the board of directors.
right.
Um, and
That's
so
who
when they
really
have
run it.
yeah, that's what we're running. And I think what the governing body did is because every corporation has a governing body. You know, every
Exactly.
corporation on earth has a governing body.
Right.
But the board of directors, and I think that's what the governing body did so slickly. When they used to be, the governing body used to be part of the board of directors, but they have different parts now. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they did. So that's how they
Well, they hired some
slyly
people.
slicked out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, they hired some people. They hired some men who knew what they was doing, knew how to run a business to do that. Because these governing body members don't know anything about running a business. They have money
Oh yeah,
though.
yeah,
The
yeah,
organization has money, so they hire some people who actually know how to run a corporation.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, none of the
you know,
governing body
I was
members own.
actually
Did any of them? Did any of them own a business? I mean, which ones really own the business? I don't imagine Stephen Lett
well,
on it. Yeah, I don't imagine
they
Stephen Lett. I don't imagine Stephen Lett
Tony
on any
Morris.
business. Tony Morris.
Tony Morris is I don't know if, how true it is, but I've seen stuff and heard rumors that Tony Morris is, that's one I was in the liquor store buying a $900 worth
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
scotch.
Exactly. Yeah, he
Tony
probably
Morris
own.
supposedly is like has like a lot of money because he's one of the heirs to the Philip Morris cigarette company. Now I don't know if you know who Philip
Oh,
Morris
okay.
is, but Philip
Yeah, yeah,
Morris
yeah,
is the
yeah.
brand that makes like Marlboro and a lot of other
Uh
cigarette
huh.
brands or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Well,
heard
he.
that he is
Well, I
like
mean,
heir to that, so he has like a lot of money.
yeah, I mean, he's also a vet too, and is he a vet?
Yeah,
Yeah, he getting
yeah,
that check from the government also. So I mean
right, right.
yeah, he getting that
But
check from
now,
the government too.
just to touch on something else real quick, these well in the past, I'm not gonna speak on the ones now, but in the past, the people that were at the top of the watchtower, they were always like high-ranking Freemasons that were part of secret societies. Like we know, of
Mm,
course, it's obvious Charles Chase Russell was into the occult and Freemasonry and all that. I mean, look at his grave site, look at the symbols on the first watchtowers. Those are all
mm,
Masonic symbols. I mean, most of us know that, so I ain't really got to talk about that too long. But like
mm,
the people that are at the top, they have a background that they don't want people to know about. Some of
mm-hmm,
them could be Masons. Some of them are probably very, very wealthy. Some of them can even be
mm-hmm,
in other secret organizations, which wouldn't surprise me. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. Don't
mm.
let nothing surprise you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, nothing surprised me now, but it's like
Right.
unless you have physical proof, it's kind of hard to. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at anything. I wouldn't put it past any
Yeah.
in 2020 in
That's what.
2020. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
2020, you can't put it past nobody. Dude next door could be some gay
Right.
pedophile. You can't put it past nobody today, man. There's so many crazy people out there.
Right.
You don't know,
Exactly.
and give them power. That's it, man. Give a person power, they change their whole persona up. So I wouldn't put it
Right.
past nobody. Yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. What's up, TW? We had a medical doctor in our Kingdom Hall. I learned that doctors and lawyers were called for special beings in Brooklyn back in the day. No, that's happened. Well, yeah, back in the day, but that's happening still today too.
Mm,
That's who's running the organization. People with education that they
mm,
kind of say we shouldn't get, but that's who's running the
mm.
organization. And
Well, shoot.
XJW 144,000 and overlapping, they absolutely did claim to be inspired. They use words. Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah,
King of
you
Failures,
exactly.
yeah, we see you.
Yeah.
Spiritual
But I would
warfare.
imagine. So I mean, could you imagine how much money they saved that they had their own personal doctors and lawyers that were witnesses and would
Right,
donate their time that you ain't got to pay? You know what I'm saying? You can have a witness that you ain't got to
right,
pay to be your lawyer. You just put that
right,
on your time
exactly.
sheet. Like this is service to Jehovah. You're gonna be a lawyer for
Right.
us. Just mark that as your time on your time sheet. We won't pay you.
Yeah,
Just put it on your time sheet. You could be a pioneer by being a doggone lawyer. You know what I'm
right, exactly, exactly. But I want to say something else about Jesus real quick. Because like
saying?
basically Jesus, I believe that Jesus woke me up. Because
Mm-hmm.
like Jesus is just like revealed himself to me, because I was praying. I was praying to the Father and I was praying to Jesus. I started praying to Jesus like himself, like he say to. Jesus say in the Bible, ask anything in my name, and I do it. And he also gave the model prayer. Don't say anything about Jehovah. It says, our Father. So I started
Father.
praying different. And when I started praying different, he started revealing stuff to me. So I want to say this about Jesus. And another thing that woke me up, I kind of touched on the last video, but about the Watchtower's false teaching that Jesus is Michael the Archangel. Now,
Mm-hmm.
check this out. Daniel chapter 10, verse 13. This one scripture that can basically prove that false. Daniel chapter 10, verse 13 says that Michael, now listen to the wording, Daniel 10:13 says that Michael is one of the chief princes, or
Hmm.
Michael is one of the foremost princes. It says in some Bibles.
Hmm.
Okay, Michael is, I'm gonna say it again. Michael is one of the chief princes.
Hmm.
Okay, what does that tell you? For
There's more
example,
than one.
okay,
There's more than one.
exactly.
Yeah.
Common sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
means it's more than one of them. But
Yeah.
Watchtower claims what? It's only one archangel. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the Bible itself, see, this is why Bible study is so important. The Bible itself says that Michael is one of the chief princes. So that means, like you just said, Jumangi, it's more than one of them. So it can't be one archangel like they claim Michael is. For okay, that's like me saying this. That's like me saying this. Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks. What does that
Hmm.
tell you? That tell you there's more than
He
one
not the,
quarterback in the
yeah,
NFL,
yeah.
right?
He
I
not
mean,
the,
what
he
does that
not the
tell
only
you?
one.
That
Yeah.
that 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 mean I think Tom Brady one of the best. I think Drew Brees one of the best. I think Lamar Jackson one of the best. I
Yeah.
think Deshaun Jackson one of the best. That
Yeah.
means it's
Yeah.
more than one. That but
Uh-huh.
look, just read the Bible. It
Uh-huh.
says
Exactly.
Michael is one of
Yeah.
these. That means it
Yeah.
ain't
And
just
when
one archangel.
yeah. And also, I mean, when you think about it, when the Bible speak of princes, these are talking about spiritual principalities upon different lands, different parts of the earth. You know what I'm saying? These are talking about, that when you talk about princes, these are different spiritual entities that control
Right.
different regions of the earth.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
some of them are even demons. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. There you go. Even Daniel talk about that. There was a
Yeah.
demon that was blocking the angel from coming. You know what I'm
Yeah, down
saying?
there in Persia.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
That's
it's
why I
like yeah.
mentioned that scripture at Daniel 10. That's why I mentioned Daniel 10, because that's the one where it's talking about what Michael, and it say, like I said, one of the foremost princes was basically tussling with the prince of Persia, and that of course was a demon, because a good angel wouldn't be preventing Michael from doing something. So obviously that was a demon. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So some of them were cheap princes too. So that's what I'm saying. But the Watchtower will say that there's only one archangel, but the Bible say it's at least a couple of archangels, and
Mm-hmm.
Michael was just
Couple of
one
them.
of them. So that
Yeah, yeah,
wasn't God. That I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
no, that wasn't Jesus. That's a different angel. I mean, that was
yeah,
a
yeah,
different, that was an angel, first of all. Jesus and an angel. See that they
yeah,
even
yeah.
they get me confused with their foolishness, messing what they
Yeah,
messing
yeah.
up what I'm trying to say with their false teaching. So
Yeah, yeah.
that
I
just
think.
shows right there that just basically destroys that doctrine. You know, Jesus is
Hmm.
not Michael. That was one of the archangels, not
Yeah, yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. I
Right.
think according to tradition, there's like four. I think Catholic tradition says there's like four of them or so. But anyway, man. Speaking
Yeah.
of the Bible though, because what you're talking about comes down to the Bible. And
Yeah.
what a lot of Joe Witness is because a lot of them are sincerely believe the Bible is the word of God. Now I'm going to them.
Yeah. I do. I still do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I'm going to them. I don't subscribe to the Bible anymore. But I mean, what if you believe in it? That's you. But
Yeah.
if you really believe in the Bible, it's going to go down to the translation you use. And a lot do prefer the King James. And you said that the
Mm-hmm.
Watchtower was tampered. Every Bible has been tampered. Anytime a human puts a pen anything, they're gonna tamper with it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it usually goes. But
Okay.
I mean one and speaking of the Bible translate, I mean one time, let me tell you how strict they are with the Bible because when they first come to your door, they say, "Oh, you can use any Bible you want. Go bring your Bible out and compare it to ours." Now
Okay.
that's the front part. That's that on call to bring you in. That's that sales pitch. But once you get really in, you come to Kingdom Hall with a different Bible. Everybody looks at you like, what you doing with that book? What you doing
Right.
with that? Yeah, I left. I was leaving to the book study like years ago. I was trying to go and I have 10 different translations. Even when I went, I had 10 different translations. I got
Okay.
more now. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I had like a New Living Translation in my car. It's a little pocket Bible. And then
Mm-hmm.
I had the New World Translation, but I forgot it at home. But I'm running late, so I couldn't go back and pick it up. So I
Right.
took the New Living Translation to the book study, and the
Okay.
guy asked me to read a scripture.
Right.
So what I'm looking like when I got the doggone New Living Translation, doing book study, reading out New Living Translation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I said, "Oh, bro, I don't have new." So another person bring me theirs, and you know what the book study conductor said?
Well.
He said back. See, with a swift pitch, Babylon has fallen. He said that about another translation. That by
Right.
me getting rid of that
I
translation,
mean,
he said
that
Babylon
don't
Great is
surprise
fallen.
me.
Yeah.
But see,
So
Jumanji, the thing about it, the thing about it, even though what you said might kind of be true about different types of Bibles, but one thing I know is fact. The Jehovah Witness New World Translation, that is the most tampered with, that is the most unreliable Bible translation in history. It
mm,
is.
mm,
Like I'm saying, I don't even Jumanji, I don't even read it no more.
yeah,
Like I don't even use it no more because
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I read it cover to cover so many times.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I said, I visited channels from from scholars and people that study Hebrew and Greek, and even they was like this they was like this is trash. They was like what is this? That's what they were saying. Like people like I mean the internet. See, here's the thing, Jumanji man, Jumanji. This is something here. I'm gonna say this about Watchtower. I'm gonna say this about Watchtower. Watchtower was not prepared for the internet. The
Oh
internet, the
yeah, yeah,
internet is
yeah.
the, the internet is gonna sink that ship.
Shit.
Watchtower,
Oh yeah, most
Watchtower
definitely.
was not prepared
Go on,
for the
Melvin.
internet. They weren't prepared for it.
Oh yeah, they most definitely was. They didn't know it was
Like
gonna blow up like it is.
right,
Exactly.
the stuff they're doing now, like the little stuff Watchtower doing now, coming out with JW Broadcasting and JW.org, they should have did that like at least 15 years ago. It's too late now because it's so easy for somebody to go online and type in anything and find the truth and find out if you
Hmm.
lying and find out the origin of
Exactly.
whatever you're saying. See, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Why Watchtower wasn't prepared for the web.
Hmm.
They
Exactly.
tried to prepare for it. They tried to like prepare for it and do damage control, but when they started, it was too late. Like I say, they should have started doing damage control for the internet like 15 years ago.
Well, they should. I think
It's
they
too
should have
late. It's too
totally
late now.
yeah, they should have totally demonized it because I mean you got stuff on your phone. I mean you got
Well,
the internet is right on your doggone phone. You ain't gotta wait till you get home and get on a computer. You be in the
too
Kingdom Hall
late
with your
now, man.
doggone phone. Yeah.
It's too late now,
Hey,
man.
but
Like,
yeah, but
uh,
yeah, this other person said, wait a minute, hold on. AKA Perez said Tony Morris is not heir of Philip Morris. I don't yeah, yeah,
well,
I don't
but
know
like
too.
I
I don't
say,
know too much about.
AK Perez. That's why I like. That's why I was saying, don't quote me. I was saying, don't quote me on it because I don't know if it's true. But like I was saying, I have been seeing like a lot of stuff online saying that, and like, see, something you got to remember: this organization, the Watchtower and Jehovah's Witness, they have a Freemason origin and also an occult origin, and
Mhm.
people usually that have like a lot of money, they are in those other secret societies. So that's why I was saying I wouldn't really doubt it because that's the kind of people that run organizations and cults, people that got like a lot of
Mhm.
money and people who are in
Oh yeah.
secret occult societies. So it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, yeah, you got that prestige to run a code. I mean, you can't be coming
Right,
there broke.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
you can't
Yep.
come in there broke demanding respect. You got to have some doggone money. I come in to a
Right.
doggone meeting, say I'm finna start a code. Well, how much money? Oh, I got an EBT card. Man, get your ass up out of here, man.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Yeah,
Exactly.
nobody. But
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. But anyway,
Exactly.
yeah. All right.
What's
But
up? What's up, Marvin and TW? King of Feather
yeah.
Watchtower will have you believe that scholar said the New World Translation is the greatest. That is
Oh
so
yeah.
crazy.
Hey, did you ever heard that rumor, man? I mean, I was on food service and they was showing a rumor that it was on Jeopardy. Jeopardy
Yeah,
supposed
and that of
yeah
course that was a
yeah
lie.
yeah, because they gave an answer. I'm like, wait a minute, Jeopardy. The answer is the question. I'm like, wait a minute. They said which Bible translate. I'm like, no, that would have been the answer is the question. It's like
Now,
so
if it
they
would
got
have
it all
been which was the
backward.
worst Bible and that was up, I would have believed that. They would say
Yeah,
what's
they
the worst one. Yeah, that would have
well
been
no
true.
Jeopardy. Well, Jeopardy wouldn't ask you the question. They would give you an answer. You have to say the question. But they were
Okay.
saying that the contestant said the answer. I'm like, wait a minute, somebody got this wrong. They would have said, "What
Yeah.
is the new translation?" But they said the
Right.
Alex Trebek said, "What is the most accurate translation?" And contestant said the New World Translation. No, they said, "What is the New World Translation?" But yeah, that was a whole little fake thing going around. You
Right.
think the government body? You think the government body came with a question for readers on that? No, they let
Well,
that thing slide.
right. AKA Perez. I know one thing about Tony Morris. I know he's an alcoholic. I know that for a fact because I seen this butt.
Hell yeah.
AK Perez. I seen this butt up in wherever he was at, whatever liquor store with 15 gallons of scotch. You can't deny
Sure.
that. So
Well,
I'm gonna
sure.
leave
I
that
mean,
alone.
hey,
I
well,
know
you,
Tony Morris is a drunk. You can't deny
well,
that.
shit. Well, he not the only one. Cause I mean, going to Kingdom Hall your whole life, you're gonna end up turning alcohol, crack.
Right.
You be turning crack or something. Calm your doggone nerves. That's what I used to do
And,
after the meeting. I had to get to the liquor store, man, after the meeting,
and
calm
I
my
just want to
doggone
say
nerves.
something about that too. I've seen that video so many times with Tony Morris in there, buying that whole like cart full of like $900 of scotch.
Mm-hmm.
That was on a Sunday. I
Mm-hmm.
believe that's on a Sunday afternoon.
Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah.
Why wasn't he in a meeting at the hall somewhere? I'm like, bro. Now let me ask you this, man. Let me do that. Let me
Uh-huh.
let me do that. Let me come out the liquor store with $1,000 worth of Hennessy and one of my brothers. And they be like, man, brother, what you doing? But he can do it. But
uh,
like I
yeah,
say,
he could do.
let any other normal JW do that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But just hey, just say,
They're gonna be in the judicial committee.
well, no, just say that you're going to another congregation at a different time. That's all you gotta say. Just I'm at I'm on vacation. This is not my hall, so our meeting is at 1. It's not 10 no more. Maybe his time changed. Maybe they had 10 different
Marvin
congregations.
Marvin Taylor, Marvin Taylor said it was for the memorial. That's supposed to be wine. Jesus blood ain't no scotch.
Hey, how? Okay, I thought they drank wine. They drink scotch at the
That's what I'm
memorial.
saying. No,
Yeah,
he was making
yeah.
a joke.
Yeah, I know, but I heard different witnesses say that was for memorial. But I'm like, what did the scotch represent? Because the
Right.
wine represents the blood. Does the scotch represent Jesus' pee? What does
The
scotch
king
represent? Did
the
it represent the pee? The urine?
hey, nah, what it was, they got new light. The king of the north is whiskey. Here,
That's the new light.
they got new light. The king of the north is whiskey, and the king of the south is moonshine.
Yeah.
Nah, they
Hey,
changed it. They changed it. They changed it. They got new light again. The king of the south is Southern Comfort.
that new light come out randomly, don't it? Don't that new light come out damn randomly?
Right, but man, we getting way off topic, man. We
Yeah,
have too
yeah,
much
yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
But I
Yeah,
wanted
good.
to I want to talk about the future of Watchtower a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Speak on that, man.
Um, so in light of everything that we talked about, I think the future of Watchtower and JW.org. I think that it's eventually just going to be a tele evangelist organization. So basically, I think everything gets going to be on TV or the internet. I think they just going to use JW.org and JW broadcasting on the computer and the internet and like Zoom meetings and everybody just sign in. And it's other organizations that's actually doing that. So it won't be something that's original to them. It's actually like about other like big churches. So like it's like some churches like their whole thing is just like on the internet. So I think that the Watchtower is just gonna like become like an internet religion. It ain't gonna be no more assembly, ain't gonna be no more conventions. They're gonna sell. Honestly, I think they're gonna sell all of that. I think Watchtower in a few years, I think they're gonna sell all the Kingdom Halls. I think they're gonna sell like most of the assemblies. And I think they're just gonna be like, look, everything is gonna be like broadcasting, just stay in your crib, tune in with the Zoom link. Still send us your tithes because they started tithing in like 2015 too, right?
Yeah, I
Like
mean
they
that would
always.
be, but
Hmm.
that's kind of a double-edged sword. It would benefit them to do that because you won't have elders going off script. You have the governing
Right.
body write what you want to say, but then again,
Yeah.
witnesses spending that much time apart will start to wear off the influence because witnesses
Not
they
not
good
not
at lip.
really because it'd be easier for them to be a witness. Not really.
Well, no, 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 because I mean, what makes people change when they go to when they're around people? When you're around people, you start to feel judged. When you're not around people, you can let your shirt off. You know what I'm saying? You can let everything hang out. You can wiggle how you want to. If a witness has that much
Yeah.
wiggle room, then it can make them think more and speak more of what they want to. Whereas if you're going to the meeting 3 times a week or 2 times a week, however much time to go, you are more prone to say and you're more prone to be whipped into shape compared
Okay.
to if you were at not around everybody. Because a lot of times, a lot of witnesses don't spend time unless they go on a service. A lot of witnesses don't even spend time together unless they're going on a service. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
but Jumanji, they don't have a choice to. Because something else I want
Mm-hmm.
to mention, why this is another reason why I want to talk so much about the future of the Watchtower. It's because they're losing so many members, and
Mm-hmm.
like I say, this information is pretty much the people that have been going that know and see this. Like I still was there up to this year, and like I seen so many halls being like, okay, the last Kingdom Hall I gave a talk at, they sold it. It's like a church now. And
That's crazy, man.
that was just like eight
That's
months ago. So
crazy.
I seen it personally. So it's so many Kingdom Halls being sold to churches, by the way. A brother can't paint a church, he get this fellowship. But yet the governing body or the Watchtower can sell a hall to a church though. Okay,
That's
anyway.
crazy.
You know what I
But
mean? So
okay, but
they
why you? But,
losing go ahead.
okay, but why you talking on that, right? They spent
Uh-huh.
the whole. They dedicated that hall to who? If you dedicate somebody something, how you
Right.
gonna sell it? So
Brother.
basically, you sold something you dedicated to Jehovah. That's black.
Brother
Like,
Jumangi,
dude.
this is not a religion, bro. This is a
Of course, of course,
corporation.
of course.
This
But like,
this is a corporation posing as a religion. That's why.
of course. But I'm saying that witnesses won't think. But if
Right,
witnesses will actually think like this, you see what I'm saying?
right,
If witnesses thought like this, it wake
right,
them up. And I know maybe some witnesses will watch it, but if we could just start to think like we
right,
dedicated this hall to God, so that's like
right.
okay, this, if you dedicate something, that's for that person. But imagine you said that's a total disrespect, man. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
That's a total
I
disrespect.
think,
Like,
and
oh, go ahead.
I think that that's blasphemy. Because like
It is.
whenever they build a new Kingdom Hall, like you said, they say a whole prayer and have a whole
Mm-hmm.
ceremony where they dedicate the building to Jehovah. And they
Mm-hmm.
even I forgot the song, but it was a certain kingdom song that was singing. They singing the song just dedicated to
Mm-hmm.
Jehovah, and then
Yeah,
next thing
yeah.
you know, this Second Adventist
They're
Baptist Church.
selling it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
man, what the
It.
heck is this? Where's y'all at? I
uh
thought this was dedicated
huh.
to Jehovah.
Exactly. So you
Like,
leave.
what?
Okay. So like you going in hearing Kingdom melodies, right? You
Yeah.
come back like 5 years later, you hearing like Baptist singing. I'm like, man, what? I guarantee you, hey, I guarantee you, Jesus got a whole different
Oh my
rhythm in that
god.
church now. Hey, Jesus' rhythm in the Baptist church is different from the Kingdom Hall, right?
Oh my lord.
Totally
My
different,
God.
totally
But
different singing.
Jumanji man. Jumanji man. I'm telling you, Jumanji though, the writing is on the wall, bro. Like I was mentioning,
Exactly.
they selling so many Kingdom Halls. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, the hall I go to, first of all, I'm gonna say at least 70%, and the people that's listening to this, because people are gonna see this later. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
don't think that only the few in the comment section or whatever are the only ones gonna see this. People, this is gonna be on YouTube, so people gonna be
Oh
able to
yeah.
click on it and see it. So
Exactly.
it's probably gonna be hundreds of people that click on this probably 3 4 months from now and see what we're saying,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna be
Exactly.
going to the hall. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I gear what I'm saying toward people like that. I gear what I'm saying toward like the PMO, the people that's still going to the hall, that's physically and mentally out. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
and
Yep.
like I mentioned the congregations, and I've been around a lot of, because like I said, I was giving public talks and going on like every month going somewhere and all the other stuff. Like most of the halls right now anyway is just nothing but mostly old people, and they dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my congregation was like probably like 80% like real old people. That was like pretty much on their last legs. Like
Mm-hmm.
all they kids and grandkids been stopped going like 20 years ago. So it was just them. So that's why so many halls are being sold, because there's no growth. Like the
Mm-hmm.
preaching door to door word, that don't bring in nobody. The only people
Yeah.
getting baptized are like basically kids being forced to get baptized because they're in their mama house.
Mm-hmm.
Kids being forced to be baptized because their other friends getting baptized because they got to, because they're in their mama house. Or it might
Mm-hmm.
be like one or two. It might be like one or two ex like crackheads that stopped going to the hall. You know what I'm saying? Back in like
uh-huh.
'94, and they
Yeah.
finally
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
like, some methadone and got off crack, and like they was like, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start going to the hall like I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
doing like in
Yeah.
1980 when I wasn't on crack. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
And I actually,
it So
Yeah, no,
it'd be
I
like
actually
one or
seen
two of
that.
them coming in, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
about it, bro.
yeah, yeah.
Ain't nobody coming
Yeah,
in that religion.
yeah, exactly. I actually seen that too, man. It's
Right.
like I know a dude. He had cancer.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to hall for $30 on years. This dude get
Right.
cancer. All of a
When he
sudden
finna die, he
he
wanna be
finna
like
die. Yeah,
baptized now.
yeah. This dude was pioneering. This dude was on the last stage. He out there pioneering. I'm like, dude, man, don't you got chemo today? I'm like, God, dog,
Right.
man, you doing everything you can
Yeah.
to get your favor. But it's like even though people leave, they
Right. So
still
basically it's
think.
phony. Yeah.
Yeah, they
It's fake.
still
Yeah.
think. Yeah,
Right.
but they still think that there's a paradise. They still think that the
Right.
reward is coming. And this
Right.
is the crazy part that these people die waiting for something that's not
Yeah.
coming. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of the
Right.
halls, though, when they sell the halls, okay. So speaking of the
Hmm.
halls, right? How
Yeah.
are the halls financed? Like you can't to build a hall.
Yeah. I can
Where
tell
did they
you
get
that.
the money? Where they get the money from? Where they get the money from to
They
build those
get the
halls?
money. They get the money from the people that go to the hall. They get the money from the
Okay,
people that go to the congregation.
okay.
So
So
basically, that's
are
free labor.
Yeah, so when they sell the hall, is that
Yeah.
invested back? Is that invested back into the people?
No. No. Of course not. They keep
So
they.
that's a
What?
damn scam, man. It's a damn
You're damn
scam.
right.
Yeah,
You damn right it is. That's
yeah,
all it
yeah, yeah,
is.
yeah. So I'm a doggone donate my money to build this real estate thing, and then they can
Yeah.
sell anytime. I don't get no money back,
Something
dude.
else you're
You
forgetting. Something else you're forgetting. They getting all that done tax free. So that
exactly,
means
exactly. Yep,
all the
tax free.
material, like the actual like material building blocks of the building, they're actually purchasing that and getting that tax free as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting
Exactly.
tax free. They get tax free building blocks to build the building. They're getting
Exactly.
free labor and contributions from people at the hall building the hall. So
That's
then when they
crazy.
sell it, that ain't nothing. That it's like they're making a triple, quadruple profit because they
That's
tax
crazy,
free.
man.
They got free
Yeah.
labor. You know what I
That's
mean? And
crazy.
the way they
Yeah,
design,
that's crazy. Well,
it's you know,
hey,
yeah,
how about we do that, man? And how about me and you? We start a religion and we just get tax free building. We sell them all. How would we do it? We flip Kingdom
nah,
Hall. Let's do
man,
that. Let's flip Kingdom Hall, man. Me and you, we get rich
nah,
off doing
man.
that, man.
Me, I'm just gonna serve Jesus, man. But see, something I want to talk about. It's important I mention this. It's important I mention this while we on the subject of the future of Watchtower and like the kingdom and the people that's PMO, the people that's gonna hear this that's still going to the hall and still pretending to believe, which they don't. But the people that's PMO,
Pretending to
now see
believe.
this is geared
God dog.
toward them and anybody else that needs to wake up. You know, it's a reason why they came out with JW Broadcasting. It's a reason why the governing body changed who the faithful and discreet slave is. I don't know if you know that, but the governing body changed who the faithful and discreet slave is. They changed that
Explain.
teaching
Okay,
before. Yeah,
explain the change. Explain. I know the change, but explain the change
yeah,
because this set me off. This helped me
yeah,
wake up. Also, explain the change to people who might not know.
yeah,
Explain that change.
yeah.
What year was it? What year was it? Because I'm kind of confused. What was it?
uh,
2003 or 2013? What year was it?
no. It was recent. It was like 2012.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like
2013.
2012.
2013. Okay, yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Explain the
around there.
change.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like 20.
Explain it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just say 2012, 2013.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Explain that change that of faithful slave.
yeah. I'm gonna explain why they changed that. I'm gonna explain right now why the governing body changed the teaching of the faithful and discreet slave in 2013. We'll just say they did that for a reason because this is just a business. Now listen to me. The reason why the governing body changed the teaching of the faithful and discreet slave, because you know the previous teaching of the faithful and discreet slave before they changed it, that teaching was that the faithful and discreet slave was all of anybody that was anointed. It was
Hmm.
basically
Yeah.
the 144,000 was a faithful slave. So that's anybody that was claiming to
Hmm.
be anointed, they were the faithful
Hmm.
and discreet slave.
Hmm.
But here, this is what you got to pay attention to. You got to pay attention to the timing. Now, like we just said, the governing body, they changed the teaching of the faithful slave not being the collective 144,000. No, the faithful and discreet slave is just a governing body. It's just
Hmm.
us 7 or 8 men. Now,
Hmm.
question. I'm going to answer it right now. Why did they do that? Think about it. Think about it, use common sense. When did JW Broadcasting come out? JW Broadcasting came out in like late 2013 or 2014, around the
Mhm.
same time when the governing body changed the teaching from it being 144,000 to the faithful and discreet slave being just them. And that's at the
Mhm.
time when they started being on JW Broadcasting on TV and on your internet all over the place because they wanted all the attention and they wanted to just call themselves the faithful and discreet slave because they knew that they were going to come out with JW Broadcasting before they changed it, and they wanted to come out with that teaching that we're the faithful and discreet slave because they were preparing to be basically in front of you on JW Broadcasting. Think about
Mhm.
that. Now, is that from
Yeah.
God or is that just imperfect men trying to scam you and trying to get you to basically get them glory and get them your attention so they can make
Mhm.
money? Now,
Yeah, that
what
was a
happened
that.
after that? Here, I still got a little bit to say about that.
Yeah, yeah.
What happened
Well, hold on,
after that? Okay, go ahead.
okay, that was a good business move. That's
That's
different
all it
different
was.
corporate.
That's
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that's all it
different.
was.
Yeah, different corporations would rebrand themselves. Like different
Right.
corporations actually before they went bankrupt, they had to rebrand
Hmm.
themselves. This is what I think Joe Winters did. They rebranded themselves. And
Right.
if you know anything, like Joe Winters have like multiple corporations. It's like I think like 10 or 12.
I
It's
mean,
like
they
over
they,
10.
they
It's
also buy a lot of stock. They got
yeah.
they buy stock. They buy stocks in weapons and military stuff. You know that?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they have different corporations. So
So I'm
like
like,
when
how are
one
you?
it no, but I was
How are you
like when one.
serving Jehovah? You buy stocks in like the military and all kind of other crazy stuff.
Yeah, but like you, one corporation gets sued because this is what a
Yeah.
corporation is. It protects the assets of the people who are part of the corporation. So
Right.
when one gets sued, they can put their assets in another corp. And this is what the Watchtower does: is they build a new they start a new corporation. 'Cause I
Mhm.
remember one time we're doing an announcement. They said when you write checks, don't write it to Watchtower, write it to the Christian congregation. This was a whole new the whole new corporation
Jumanji,
they
I'm,
invented.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but man, this chat is booming, man. It's like 50 people in here now. I just wanted to say that.
Oh yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
We gonna shout them out in a minute. I'm gonna shout them out in a minute. But
Yeah, it's a lot of people
I
coming in
mean,
here now.
do you remember when did you get that announcement at your congregation when they said don't write checks to the watch or something? You ever had that meeting where they told you where to write your checks out to? Now they changed where you write the
Yeah,
checks out to. Yeah, because
yeah.
when you
That was
go
back in like
sue,
2015.
yeah. So because when the people sue, they sue a corporation.
Right,
They don't sue the governing body. You have to sue the corporation. So
right.
what they did is that in order to not to lose those assets, they transfer the assets to a different corporation. So they
Okay.
start when one corporation goes down, they create another one. So I now think it's Christian Congregation, a new corporation. And if you look on their website, they tell you we have three new corporations. I'm like, God damn, how many corporations y'all gonna make, man? Like, did Jesus
Right.
have a corporation? Like, what kind of Christian stuff is this, man? You guys got 10,000 corporations. Y'all got 144,000 different corporations within this whole organization. But
Now I don't
that's the
mean to
protection for their assets.
now if I could just add something to that, if I can just add something to that, I'm gonna see they're real slick, man, because these
Exactly.
are
Exactly.
businessmen. But see, Jumangi, I go to school. I go to college for business management and business administration. I know how corporations run. I go to college for that. So I know
Hmm.
what they're doing. Now here's
Yeah.
something else they did trying to be slick. They changed the teaching of the faithful and discreet slave being appointed over all the domestics and all Jesus' belongings. Before they were saying that already happened. Now,
Hmm.
around that same time, a few years ago, before when they was doing everything we just talked about, they were saying that we are appointed over all his belongings already, blah 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 blah. But now the new light on that, oh, that's not gonna happen until after the Great Tribulation.
Some of you ain't
Oh,
gonna.
now this is like I said, this is for my witnesses that go to the hall. You got to think about your so-called leaders and what they're doing. See, what they're
Hmm.
doing is they're covering their tracks.
Hmm.
They're protecting their behind, so you can't question them on nothing. You
Exactly.
can't be
Exactly.
like, wait a minute. So they say that for this. So you can't be like, wait a minute. I thought y'all was saying that y'all were appointed over all Jesus' belongings on earth.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah.
No, brother. That's gonna happen after the great tribulation. That's why
Hmm.
it's these lawyers and
That's crazy.
doctors. and
Yeah.
these high power lawyers running stuff behind the scene, that we're gonna be
Hmm.
appointed over y'all after the Great Tribulation.
Yeah. After
See,
Great
and you know
Tribulation,
what? A lot of people don't think.
they
People
don't.
don't
They
think.
don't. Yeah, they
But
don't.
see, I mean, they not gonna fool me because, like I say,
Yeah.
I see very clearly what this is,
Hmm.
and I'm
And I
not falling
mean,
for it no more.
okay, so after the Great, wait a minute, hold on for a minute, because after the Great Tribulation,
They got new light that they changed that like a couple of years ago.
okay, but if you put your thinking cap on after the Great Tribulation, ain't they supposed to go to heaven? So how they gonna manage anything on earth if they in heaven?
They're
After the
gonna
Great
manage
Tribulation,
it.
they
They're gonna manage it from heaven, Jumarky.
so
Obviously, that's
okay,
what they're
so
saying.
how we know they managing? Like, I mean, we down here, we down here, right? They in heaven.
Jumarky.
Okay, so we down here, we running
How,
around. So so who's the
uh-huh.
channel? Who's the channel after Who's the channel after the channel goes up to heaven? Who's
Jumanji,
the channel?
how do we know? How do we know that Jesus came back invisibly in 1914?
Because we see the signs. I think that's the logic they gave. We see the signs.
Do
We
you
see the
see where
signs.
I'm going?
Yeah,
Basically they're just saying stuff to keep you there and to keep you
exactly,
fueling this corporation. That's all it is.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's a
That's
pimp
all
move,
it
man.
is.
That's a damn pimp move, man. That's a pimp move. These
Right.
people is like
Like I
pimps, man.
say, that's why it's so important. That's why it's so important that you actually study the Bible and you actually understand that
Somebody said.
these are just seven men who
Mm-hmm.
are a front and put in front of you
Mm-hmm.
claiming to be God's spokesman, then claiming not to be God's spokesman, claiming to
Mm-hmm.
be leading over you when you are domestic, but then they say, well, that's gonna happen in the future, great
After,
after the
yeah.
great tribulation. See, that's what I'm saying. This is for people
Mm-hmm.
who want to think critically, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? And after you start thinking critically, it's just everything just fall apart.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the whole thing. Thinking clear. That's why they say don't think
Everything just fall
independently.
apart.
Yeah, but
Right.
I'm saying they don't. They tell you don't think independently. That's a redefinition of thinking
Right.
critically. You know,
Right. Right.
independently is another definition of thinking critically. Like, I'm gonna
Right.
think critically. No, no, you're not thinking for me. Why do I need a brain, man? Take my brain.
Yeah.
Just take my brain from me. Why do I need a brain if I'm not thinking?
Well,
Why do I
oh
need a
no.
brain?
Well, if you a PMI or a PMI, how you if you a PIMI, somebody that's physically and mentally in, to be a true to be a
PIMP.
true to be a true Jehovah's Witness, you got to leave your brain at the door when you walk in the hall.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You gotta leave
No,
your
no, no,
brain at the
no.
doggone door.
You cannot
You
come in
can't.
there with a brain. You
Hmm.
can't.
And you.
You got okay. You've been to the hall. You know halls
Hmm.
got coat room. You know halls got
Hmm.
coat rooms where the sisters coming there with the furs and the brothers coming there with the long little nice little different types of coats. You gotta leave your brain
Hmm.
up in there with that coat.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Because
You got to.
but I'm saying what they associate thinking
Yeah,
with, what they
yeah.
associate thinking with. They associate thinking with the first apostate. Who was the first apostate to the watchtower? First apostate or critical thinker was Satan, and that's the crazy part. They put Satan with critical thinking so that a witness who think they thinking critically, oh man, Satan's got me. So
Right.
it's like you villainize critical thinking. It's like that's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
I think the biggest apostate was Jesus.
Well, yeah, according, yeah, in religion at that time, of course he was. Yeah,
He was.
yeah, he was.
The main apostate was Jesus Christ himself when he was a man
Exactly,
walking on earth. That was the
exactly. If you,
biggest apostate,
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, because I mean, because yeah, I mean, if you look at the Pharisees weren't.
And
If
I'm
you
not
go back
saying
Jesus'
that
day,
I'm not saying that in the negative way. Of course,
no, no,
Jesus
no,
was an
no, no,
apostate in the sense that
yeah,
he exposed the truth. But I'm gonna say
exactly.
this: he was an apostate. He was an apostate to them.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the apostate is not even
Right.
a bad word. The Watchtower made that into a
Right.
bad word to vilify you. But I'm saying that if you look at the history of the Pharisees were pretty much people who were trying to go according to the law. Now, what
Right.
the Bible did is they vilified the Pharisees because they're the main ones who were opponents of Jesus. But the Pharisees were people who were trying to live according to the law. But leave it to the people who
I
wrote the Bible. They vilify the Pharisees. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
I
So
would
it's
say
not.
this. I would say it like this: the Pharisees were people who abused the law, and they
What it,
abused the law to bring themselves wealth and to get people to worship them. That's what they did. That's why Jesus came in there and called them
well, no,
offspring of
that's
vipers.
no. I'm saying that's the no disrespect anything, but that's the Bible interpretation. But if you look at the Pharisees, they were respected. They what the Bible did, they focused on certain Pharisees. I mean, every group have their bad apples. But the
Right.
Bible they focus on the bad apples of the Pharisees. And I'm not
Uh-huh.
saying that and this is what religion does. Religion makes you feel better than other people, like your shit don't stink, and
Right.
that's what religion does. But at that time, the Pharisees were respected people because they had three different branches, and all the Jews were going off in area, but these people wanted to stick to the law. That's like
Right. Right.
the Essenes who lived in the down there in the caves and stuff like that. Now,
Yeah.
if they were active in Jesus' life, the Bible would have vilified them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but it's like the Pharisees were a group of people who wanted to live according to law in this thing. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? But
yeah. About
yeah,
that, about the Pharisees, I'm gonna just say two things about them. First of all, they don't have no salvation because they killed Jesus, and second
hmm
of all, the God, the Pharisees were claiming to serve. You got to think about that. The Pharisees were claiming to serve Yahweh, or what the Jehovah Witnesses call Jehovah, and they are the
hmm
ones that killed Jesus. So what does that tell you
hmm
right there? That
yeah.
tells you a
But that's
lot
that's
right
a
there.
yeah. But that man,
You know.
that's a group. That's like a sector of them. Like people who got
Hmm.
power. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's diff. It was they had different sections. I'm not. It might seem like I'm trying to protect the Pharisees, but I'm just saying if you actually do a historical study of that time of the
Yeah.
the thoughts of Judaism, because when you get to religion, it's always going to be a branch. Somebody gonna think they know more than the other people, so it's always gonna be
Right.
a branch off of that religion. So you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm not protecting the Pharisees, but I'm saying that if you go back to that time and look at the Pharisees at that time, you'll see that they were not vilified the Bible put it as. You know what I'm saying? You pick the bad apples and you emphasize that bad apple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Um,
Yeah. So
and
yeah. So
and Latanya said, "I'm suing for my tiger."
oh yeah,
They
yeah. What?
they're in the
Hey, what?
comments. They're
Yeah.
in the
What? Hey,
comments
what?
saying some of the most.
Yeah,
I'm laughing because I'm reading the comment. The comments got me
yeah,
rolling.
yeah.
They talking about
So what?
I'm supposed
Hey,
to have a
what?
tiger by now.
Hey, what? Hey, what animal? What animal would you want in the paradise, man? Because I mean, they had a whole doggone service part on what animal the kids wanted at dog. I'm like,
Oh my god,
I'm
man!
like,
Why they
dude,
sitting up
man.
lying? What is sitting up lying? What is that lying to them kids, man? You ain't forget
Yeah,
no
I'm like,
doggone animal,
I'm
man.
like,
Look,
that's all we worried about is a dog on what animal we gonna get in the
oh god,
paradise. I mean, dude, man, come on, we. I mean, if you
that's
stick
all a lot,
upon
bro.
the, if you could Jehovah Witness doctrine, right?
Yeah,
Imagine, right? After Armageddon, you only have
yeah,
8 million people on Earth.
uh huh,
8 million. Think about this, man. The Earth is a big place, man. The Earth can fit a lot of people. 8 billion people is gonna build this whole Earth. You know how much destruction is gonna be on this Earth? Your last thought is what animal I'm gonna get. You got rubble, you got dead bodies you gotta bury. Just imagine like
right.
the Armageddon Jehovah Witness paint. The Armageddon Jehovah Witness paint.
Hmm.
Jehovah Witness don't want none of that. They not about that life. Like if you if
Well,
you if you really went to the future and looked at the Armageddon after Armageddon,
right.
this is not. I mean, if you thought your house looked dirty, like you thought your house looked dirty, imagine the Earth after Armageddon. These Jehovah Witnesses don't want that. They just
Well,
looking at the
Jamagi,
pictures they have in the watchtower. They
I'll
look at
just
the
say
pictures they
this,
have in the
man.
watchtower.
I'll just say this about that, man. That's the picture Watchtower paint of this Armageddon and Paradise Earth thing. We know that's not gonna happen. First of all, and
Exactly.
you just got to think, man. Like look at 9/11. Look at the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
Exactly.
When those airplanes, when those airplanes, that was a horrible day, by the way, and I remember it like yesterday because I saw. I actually went there. I went
Hmm.
when I went to Bethel. When I was serving at Bethel, I went down to the new. I've been to the New World Trade Center.
Mhm.
I've been to the World Trade Center Memorial and all of that because I want to see it. And like people
Mhm.
was there, man. People was crying. Like people was still there crying everywhere. Cause like people was
Mhm.
there that lost their family members in them planes and in the build. Like I saw it. I saw people like crying, like, yeah, you know, I lost my father and this and all this other stuff. So I was like really I was all look, I'm gonna put out this Jumanji. When I went to the 9/11 terrorist attack site,
Mhm.
I was almost in tears, and I'm a man that don't really cry for anything. Like I'm gonna put it like
Mhm.
this, man. I didn't cry. I didn't cry at my father's funeral, and me and
Mhm.
my father was like my best friend, but I didn't cry at his funeral. So you know, it's hard to make me cry. But like when I went to the 9/11 site, it was so many people there that was hurting and was just reminiscing on everything that they lost, the people they lost and stuff. I was almost in
Exactly.
tears, and like
Mhm.
I saw all that, and like they have like artifacts like from like the twin towers that collapsed. All that's there. They got it's like a museum. They got like
Mhm.
pieces of the building. They got pieces of fire trucks. They got a whole memorial for all the firemen that died. And it's like
Mhm.
it was a lot of them that died, man. All
Mhm.
that's like
How long?
there. I was looking at that and like
Yeah.
and
So
and
how long?
then
How long?
huh?
But how long did
Hmm?
it take them to clean that? How long did it take them to clean that place
Right.
up?
That's it. That's what I was going to get to. That was my point of bringing that up. Like on 9/11, when those airplanes hit those buildings, it took them it took them weeks.
Mhm.
It took them like weeks. I remember it took them weeks to just clean up after those two buildings and to
Mhm.
find all them body parts. It took them
Mhm.
weeks just to do that. And that was just like in lower Manhattan, in one section of
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So I mean that's what I'm like. That don't. It's like the
Yeah.
stuff the White Sox shit don't really make sense in
Exactly.
hindsight when you use common sense.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
could you imagine? Could you imagine seeing those bodies and the
Yeah.
nightmares you have after that? So imagine after Armageddon. This is supposed to be paradise.
Right.
You got dead bodies all over the earth. I mean, the way they show the picture, you got people with their tongues hanging out. The Watchtower show the most funniest pictures. Like the Watchtower will paint the
Yeah.
most crazy pictures. Could you imagine like all these dead bodies mauled in half and fireballs, burnt up charcoal? The
Well,
PTSD you gonna have, the PTSD you gonna have after seeing all those dead bodies in paradise. How that's gonna
man, look,
affect you? You know
I
what I'm saying?
don't. I don't think. I don't believe in that teaching no more because like I believe it's Second Peter 3:9 where the scriptures say, "Well, God say He don't want anybody to be destroyed. He wants
Hmm.
everybody to repent." So that
Hmm.
should be the end of it right there.
I
God
know.
basically said He don't want to destroy nobody. He want everybody to repent and basically serve Him. So how's
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's why I say that's why it's important. Just go read the Bible. God
Yeah.
said He don't
Exactly.
want to destroy. He said He don't want to destroy nobody. So how is He going to
Yeah.
destroy
Yeah.
billions of people? Like it don't.
Yeah. Yeah. But
They doctrine don't make sense. That's all.
it do.
They're just saying stuff to scare you. They just saying stuff to
Exactly.
scare y'all.
Exactly.
They're just promising. They're just saying this to scare you, and they're saying you're gonna have a tiger. They're saying you're gonna be laying up with cobras and bears, and that's all a lie, just to like keep you trapped in there, just to give you false hope
Exactly.
and scare you, and to give you like some kind of false, some kind of false promise that they can't
Yeah.
keep because they're saying they're saying they uninspired, but when y'all was
Yeah.
saying all that crazy stuff, y'all was inspired. So what are you talking about? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And yeah. But also, hey, Jehovah Witness, think about this, man. Y'all still going, and in paradise, y'all still preaching. Y'all finna walk over dead bodies to preach to the unbelievers who resurrected.
That's
Think about
not
that.
gonna happen, bro. It
Think
ain't
think
gonna
about
happen.
that, Joe Witness. Y'all finna
Right.
still be preaching. Y'all,
It's
y'all
not gonna
still finna
happen,
be
bro.
turning y'all doggone time in the paradise. Think about that. And then if you don't turn your time,
It's not real, man.
you're
It's
gonna still be
fairy tale.
destroyed. Yeah, it's not. It's of course it's not real, but I mean
Fairy
to
tale.
to speak to the witness who's not thinking. If you
Right.
think deeply about this enough, you realize that your favorite animal is gonna be, at least your word, in paradise. It's not gonna be a paradise. It witnesses having your favorite animal, having a tiger, a lion, a bear, a doggone Corolla bear, or a dinosaur.
No, it's not
If
real,
you like
bro.
dinosaurs, that's the in a paradise. The first 100 years of the paradise, that's gonna be at least your doggone worry. You're
Well,
gonna
no,
be
see
trying to
that's
build
the
your house.
point. That's the point, Jumanji. Like that's why I brought up 9/11. Like I was saying, it took them. If it took them like 2 months, it took them 2 months to clean up the debris from the World Trade Center. and that was only
Hmm.
like 5 or 6 buildings that got destroyed. It took them
Exactly.
like two.
Exactly.
It took them like 2 months to do that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Imagine
Imagine.
9/11. Imagine 9/11 across the whole earth. That's basically
Exactly.
what
There you
Armageddon
go.
is.
That's the point I want to bring out. Imagine that
Right.
across the earth. There you go.
Like that
Imagine that.
don't that
Yeah.
don't that don't even make no sense. And mind
Exactly.
you, it's only gonna be like, and you got to think too. The majority of Jehovah Witnesses are old.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of Jehovah Witnesses are old. And from my
Mm-hmm.
understanding of their false doctrine, it's gonna take 1,000 years to come to perfection. So you're gonna have like you're gonna have like 4 million old people who couldn't walk before Armageddon trying to clean up all that. Bro, you use
So
common sense. Did that make any sense?
okay, so 1,000. It's gonna take 1,000 years to make. Okay, so Okay, so check this out, right? You know how
Yeah.
crackheads ain't, you know how crackheads ain't got no teeth, right? I'm just joking, right? You know how crackheads ain't got no teeth, right?
What they got to do
So,
with any?
well, I'm saying that how long in the paradise uh, is you gonna get all your teeth back? Like, how long is gonna like? I'm
Oh my
just saying
God,
that.
man,
I'm saying that. Is it
my
gonna take the whole
lord,
1,000 years?
it's
Is it gonna take the whole
just,
1,000 years to get back to?
bro,
Yeah.
it just don't make sense, man. And to top it all off, see that, man, look, that's why that's why leaving this organization made me love Jesus so much, man, because Jesus is just so clear, and he seems like he is like an actual guy.
Mhm.
Because when he was being put to death, being executed, it was two prisoners. It was prisoners with him, and
Mhm.
he told, of course, one prisoner that took faith in him that you will be with me in paradise. And that prisoner, he wasn't a pioneer. He wasn't going on field service. He wasn't
Mhm.
even drinking no wine and eating no bread.
Mhm.
But Jesus said,
Yeah.
"You be
Yeah.
with me in paradise." Why?
Yeah.
He said that you'll be with me in paradise just because he believed in his sacrifice. So what is that?
Mm.
That tells you a lot right there. That tells you
Yeah.
that salvation is not based off works that you do for an organization.
Exactly.
Salvation is based
Exactly.
off you. Salvation is based off you believing in who Jesus Christ is and what He did.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because
So
this
he did.
man and that man was a proven criminal. It didn't
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
look at the Bible account. The Bible don't say that man was falsely accused. It don't say he was innocent. It don't say that he was no railroaded. That man was a true full blooded criminal. He was
E-
guilty. And
Exactly.
Jesus still
Exactly.
said that this was a guilty, probably a violent criminal. And Jesus said, "You believe in me, you'll be with me in paradise." And that man, like I
Exactly.
said, he didn't do all this crazy stuff and all this going
Mhm.
to the hall and all. He didn't do none of that. But what Jesus say
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
him? Right.
Yeah. Be with me in paradise. Yeah. So he didn't.
Exactly. So
So
that's all you right
he.
there.
Yeah. He didn't have to get baptized. He didn't
No.
have to go out in service. He had to go to no meetings. He did all this
Hmm.
bad stuff throughout his life, right? He did all this bad stuff throughout his life. He was a
Yeah.
what murderer or whatever he was. All this stuff
I
through his
think he
life.
was. I can't really remember. I think it did say. I think somewhere in the Bible it did say that he was actually a
He was
murderer.
a murderer.
I think
Okay,
I think
so
it
he
did
was
say that he killed somebody or something.
okay. So he was a murderer, right? Joe Witness. He
Yeah.
was a murderer. He didn't have to answer no Bible study questions. He didn't answer that them questions get baptized. He had to get baptized. He had to turn his time in, but he's still gonna be in paradise. But
Right.
you jokers spend your whole life right now doing all this stuff, but this man did worse than you guys, and he's still gonna be in paradise. So if you don't turn your time in, this killer gonna be in paradise, and you not because you don't turn your time in. Think about it.
Basically. Right.
Yeah,
That that
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
that actually a good point.
yeah, yeah. All right.
B
So yeah,
Buttercup.
anyway, yeah,
B Buttercup. The Watchtower was definitely a false religion. What's up, Marvin Taylor? Priest Magic 76. The paradise was better than the Greeks. Greeks heaven was all dudes. That's what it say. The 144,000 is. The Bible said they gonna be all virgin men.
yeah, yeah. Hold on. Okay. So I didn't see, but let me. I'm gonna look at these comments real quick. I didn't read the comments, man. Hold on for a minute. Let me see if I can see them in the comments. I
Yeah,
know
let
it's a
let
lot of
let
them there. There's a lot of people talking within themselves.
yeah
Uh,
let's talk about some of the comments. It's like a lot of people
yeah,
in
there's
there now.
some. Yeah, it's a lot of people in here. I don't want y'all to think I'm ignoring you guys, but okay, tell them. Yeah, tell them you can walk it out in front. Oh,
And
yeah.
God created good and evil. I believe that. Nicole James. I believe that God. created good and evil, but I also believe that God created salvation if you wanted to. Spiritual
Yeah.
versions.
Okay. So let me see. So priest and in the comments, man, I don't think y'all ignore you guys. I know I usually interact with you guys in comments, but this conversation, man, this guy, I like the way this guy his 55, man. I like the way you present things, man. Yo, I don't know how to present, but the way you laid back, you like me, man. You a laid back individual, man. And like
Yeah.
the way you say things, it's like it's not too emotional, but it gets straight to the point, and I like that, man. I like that about you, man. But you know what I'm saying? So don't if
Okay.
if I'm
Thanks,
not
man.
I'm not yeah, I'm not ignoring you guys in the comment, but it's just me and this guy, man. I like this guy's spirit, man, because the way it's just like me. So I'm like we deep into it, but I'm gonna go try to go through these comments real quick. Okay, so Priest Magic said the entire hold on for a minute. The entire generation
It's a
thing
lot of them in there
showed
now.
yeah, showed a lot of people it was lies, the entire generation thing. Yeah, because they kept changing it. They kept changing it. Exactly. How you keep changing the truth, man? Like, I mean, God gave you something and you're gonna change it a year later. So
Yep.
God didn't know he's talking about God knew he's talking about in 2018, but in 2019 he changed his mind. What kind of
Right.
God is that, man? God changed his mind in 2019. Like,
Right.
dude, God is all knowing. God is omniscient. I don't know what you
Right.
got. What you got? Omniscient. I don't know what you
Right.
call it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he
Exactly.
changed his doggone mind.
And
Let me
I
see.
just want to say something real quick to it went off my screen now. But I want to say something about the generation because of that comment. What's up, all 501c3? I'm sorry. What's up, Maggie? Too, all 501c3 are Project Babylon the Great. Okay, I don't know what all 501c3
That's
is.
that's a 501(c)(3). That's nonprofit corporations. So 501(c)(3), that's a
Oh, okay.
section of the corporations that's nonprofit. But you have to have a charter. You have to live up to that to live it. So hospitals are 501(c)(3). The Goodwill is a 501(c) is like um it's a corporations that nonprofit. So
Okay.
that's what 501(c)(3) is. Oh yeah, but go
Okay,
ahead.
Maggie too. Maggie too. I thought 501c3e was some kind of scotch. The governing body was like starting to buy or something. I don't know. It kind of it kind of threw me off when
No,
I
they
saw that C3. I'm like C3. I'm like, what's some kind of cognac they got or something?
it was some stuff. It was a stock. it was a
Right.
stock. Yeah,
I'm like that's some of that cognac for like like
yeah,
that was some of that's some of that Illuminati cognac that they only know about. That's from like Babylon the Great cognac or
yeah.
something.
Hey, them the new Jordans come out. 501(c). Yeah,
I'm
no,
like
that's
that's
the
some new
that's
CP3s or something.
no, that's the nonprofit corporations. 501(c). That's a nonprofit corporation. But go
But yeah,
ahead.
I just want to say this, man. Thanks for having me on, man. And I want to keep going because it's actually at least three more things I want to talk about briefly, just
Yeah,
briefly, because we've been on it for a
yeah, yeah,
while. But yeah, no, hey, shout out to everybody in the comments, and that's something else I want to get into right now. And of course, a lot of the people here in the comments, I'm sure y'all know about the top secret, almost secret, because it was leaked. Because it's like high ranking elders that's PMO, and they leak stuff out like elder letters and everything else. But
hmm
most of y'all might have heard about the new mass media studio that they're building next to Warwick in New York. They're building a
hmm
new mass movie production studio that costs probably about $1 billion, and it's going
a
to be
billion,
completed in
not a
yeah.
billion. No, not a billion. You mean a million?
Well,
Not a billion.
well,
It
this
can't be
thing
a
is
billion.
massive.
It can't be
Well,
a
yeah,
billion.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. You're right because they're getting it built by free labor, so they probably be
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah,
free. They're getting it built
yeah.
probably for free, but they're building this. And if y'all know about it, mention it in the comment section if you've seen it. But they're building this new massive media studio or a movie studio like Hollywood next to Warwick. And this is basically proving what I said. They're gearing up for a future where everything is just going to be online. It's not going to be no more assemblies. And it might not even be, well, they might keep a few, just for like sentimental elements. they gonna get basically what's gonna happen in the future, y'all. I'm finna tell y'all the future Watchtower. They finna build this mass media studio. They said it's gonna be complete in 2026. After they complete that, everything gets gonna be through JW Broadcasting from there, and they're gonna be no
Okay, hold
more
on, hold
like, uh huh.
hold on for a minute before you go on, man. I'm gonna just make this point. You said when it's
Okay.
gonna be completed?
They said in 2026. It was a leaked
Okay,
video. It's
so
a
Joe
leaked
Witness.
video. Uh huh.
So Joe Witness, you got to 2026 to make up your mind. You want to get baptized. 2026. The government body know the end's not coming before 2026. Go ahead, carry on. 55.
See, that was my next point. My next point was this: in 2015. In 2015, that's when Davis Blaine came out with that video explaining about the new light or the new teaching about the revised generation teaching, and he was making it like, oh, the world finna end any minute. Y'all seen it already, so I ain't gonna talk about too much. But he was like, yeah, this new generation, new light we got. It say that the world finna end in like 5 years. They said that in 2015. It's 2020 now. So now they up here building this studio that's gonna be done in 2026. So obviously they don't believe the world is going to end any minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's why they're building this
Exactly.
thing. And like I was saying, once they complete this movie studio, which is what it is, like I was saying, that's when they're going to slide into full TV only, internet only evangelism. So what they're going to
Mm,
do is this. I'm predicting the future. I'm telling y'all the future. Listen, I'm telling you the future. Sometime around then, they're gonna say the preaching work is done. The preaching
mm.
work is done. Ain't
Wow.
no look. It ain't gonna be no more door to door. It ain't gonna be no more field service. They're gonna say the
Hmm.
preaching work is done. The message is about to change. We just gonna do everything from this movie studio out here. I think
Hmm.
they call it. I think they call it Rapolo. It's like in Rapolo, New York. That's out there by Warwick. Once they build that movie studio, they're gonna say the preaching work done. Y'all can stay in y'all house, stay in y'all
That's
basement
crazy.
bunker. I'm telling you, this is what they're gonna do because I see it. I mean, I'm a businessman myself. This is what they're
Hmm.
gonna do. They're gonna say the preaching work done. They're gonna say, look, we just gonna do everything on the internet now, and that's gonna save them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they gonna this the next step. This the next step. They're gonna do that, and then they gonna sell everything. They gonna start selling more hall. They're gonna sell like probably like 70% of the Kingdom Halls for money. They're gonna sell like them big old assembly halls y'all was going to. They're gonna be selling like branch building. They're gonna be selling all their branch stuff. They're gonna sell all of that. They're just gonna be
Hmm.
like, yeah, everything is gonna be done here in Warwick and like this new movie studio, and they just
Wow.
gonna be like feeding y'all. They just gonna be just feeding y'all and feeding y'all like them weird bunker videos. They're gonna be
Wow.
feeding y'all like crack. They probably gonna be feeding y'all like sentimental videos, or like
Hmm.
what I'm saying, your mama like coming out the ground being resurrected because they love like that
Wow.
tear jerking. They love stuff that control your mind because it's a
Yeah,
cult.
yeah.
They
The
they they gonna
emotion.
be
Yeah.
they gonna be feeding y'all videos of people rolling around with tigers and like bear cubs. They're gonna be
Mm.
feeding y'all. They're gonna be feeding y'all like weird videos, and
Wow.
then
It's crazy.
that I think that's what the future holds. I think it's just all gonna be on TV on your internet, and that's gonna be the end of it. And
That's
then it
crazy,
gets
man.
and then this group, this organization, is just gonna slowly fade off into the background. These governing body members are eventually gonna get replaced or die by replaced by other people, and they just gonna
Hmm.
be like, man, just doing JW broadcasting from there, and that's gonna be it.
Wow. That's crazy, man.
Like
S-
they probably gonna be coming out with like whole like videos like showing like the Great Tribulation, the Armageddon to get everybody to keep everybody scared on the internet. That's what they're gonna be
Yeah.
doing. That's all that's gonna happen. That's
That,
how it's gonna fade away.
that's crazy, man. Like, wow. So
That that
we
that,
we
that
we
that's
got
how that's how I see it unfolding.
so we got wait to 2020. Man, I can't wait to 2026, man. Like
Right.
that's exciting, man. What the governing body's doing, I can't. If I was a witness, right? So imagine me and you as witnesses. Man, we can't wait to 2026. Like we can't wait but we gonna go door to door and tell people any day now. But as witnesses, we can't wait to
over
2026. You know what I'm
Overlapping JWTV.
saying? Yeah, we can't
Right.
wait to 2020. Man, can you imagine that though? I mean, it's just a television. It's like the what was that? The four. What was that old thing? 400 Club. What was that? The 400,
Oh my
500 Club.
God, Jumanji, I'm sorry, Jumanji, man. These comments got me rolling, man. These comments got me dying laughing.
What did it say?
I'm looking in the comments. They're saying like some crazy stuff. It says
What
it
is
was called
it?
the 144,000 club instead of the 700 club.
Yeah, 100. And guess
Oh
what?
man.
And guess what? If it's
Uh,
144,000 club, they gonna show 8 fools. Out of 144,000, they're gonna show 8 fools. One dude
oh
got a
man.
doggone. He got an eye like Stephen Lett. This dude. I mean, I'm not gonna get into this dude, but out of 144,000, they only show 8 of them. That lets you know, man. Like only 8 of them. 104. You know what 144,000
Well,
is?
remember, Jumanji, like I was saying, they changed. They got new light and they changed the teaching. The
Yeah,
faithful slave before it was all the anointed. Now it's just them.
yeah. They changed
They
more
changed
light
all
bulb,
that.
but they
Right.
changed more light than I changed in my doggone house. I ain't got to change my light bulbs as much as they change new light. Cause God
Right.
dog, man, if I change new light, if I change my light as much as Joe been change, you know how much money I'll be out of? Like these these light bulbs today ain't cheap, man. These light
Right.
bulbs
Exactly.
today ain't cheap, man. I'm happy I don't get new
Exactly.
light. And
Exactly.
even but even the street lights in your city, you notice a lot of street lights are gone. You know a lot of
Yeah.
street lights are gone. Yeah, so I mean, just joking. I'm saying that even the city know that dang, we don't need that much new light because we taking light out the streets. Joe Winter's the only
Well,
one
the
need new
thing.
light that much. Though Joe Winter's the only need new light that much. Like man,
Well, the thing
I
about the
wish in
light
real life.
thing. The thing about
Man,
the
hey,
light thing, man.
if I had that much light, you know how much my PG&E bill is? Like electricity bill. If
Mm,
I had that much light in my house, my electricity bill would be low. Well, it would be
I'm
high if I had that
saying.
much light. Cause God, dog, man, all that new light.
I'm
Yeah, but
saying.
anyway, man, I'm just joking. But damn,
I'm
man,
saying.
new
Yeah.
light, that new light scheme, like
Yeah.
ain't no new light coming for. If you were Almighty
Mm,
God, all
yeah.
knowing, if you were all knowing, you don't
Mm,
need that much new light. It's no new light. It's no new light when you all knowing. Because
well.
in 1950, if you all knowing, you know what's gonna happen 1,000 years from 1950. So I
Right.
don't need no new light if I'm getting my source from all knowing. I only need
Right.
one new light. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing too. Here's the thing too. When Jehovah, I'm talking about this back in Moses. When Moses was like in front of the Israelites when they
Hmm.
was over there on I think it was Mount Horeb. Don't quote me because I mean I ain't got a Bible in front of me, but when Moses well I would say when Jehovah was basically revealing himself to his people, the Israelites.
Hmm.
He was saying that many things he said, but two things I'm gonna focus on. He said, "I'm one Jehovah," and he said that I'm Jehovah and I do not change.
Hmm.
Okay, so y'all claim to be serving a God. Y'all claim to be led by a God who said he don't change. So how you get new light anyway?
Exactly. Exactly.
Your God said that I'm Jehovah and I do not change.
The change, but your light
And
change.
then y'all come out 5 years ago saying that y'all not inspired.
Hmm.
Okay, so where all this new light that killed people, where all
Hmm.
this new light that broke up families, where did all that light come from? If y'all not inspired now, or if y'all weren't inspired 5 years ago, or if you came out and said you weren't inspired 5 years ago, when were y'all ever inspired? Where was that light coming
Exactly.
from? Because
Exactly.
your guy say he don't change. So what
Hmm.
is y'all talk? So what is y'all talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
What's the
like,
reason?
what are y'all like? What is y'all talking about?
Yeah, what's the logic behind it? If your God don't change, but
Right,
the information he give you
right,
change, what's the
right.
logic behind that? Yeah, what's the logic behind that? And no Jehovah Witness, you ask a devout Jehovah Witness that question, they could not answer. They're gonna do some talking
No,
points.
what they gonna do? They gonna run. They gonna run away from you.
Exactly. Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, that's apostate material.
They gonna
Get
run.
away
They
from
gonna
me,
run
Satan.
away from you.
Yeah, back away, Satan. You behind me, Satan. They don't call you Satan.
Zoe Zoe Helion. Remember, Satan was known as an angel of light, and also Zoe Helion. They also had several
You
conventions
did.
of Jehovah's Witnesses back in the '90s.
she,
they also had many conventions back in the '90s where they called themselves light bearers. So who was a light
hey,
bearer? The light
hey,
bearer,
Zoe said she.
Lucifer.
Zoe said she needs some sunscreen from this doggone new light. Needs some
Zoe,
sunscreen.
Zoe, Zoe, Zoe Helion. Do you know who the light bearer is? The light bearer is Satan.
Yeah, Lucifer. Yeah, Lucifer,
Lucifer,
man. Lucifer is a
Lucifer,
light bearer.
Lucifer, which is basically Satan's nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Lucifer is the light bearer.
Mm-hmm.
What does that tell you? And I remember as a child, I remember this like yesterday. In the '90s, the witnesses had several conventions that were called. The name of the convention was called Light Bearers.
Mm-hmm.
The all-seeing eye, the all-seeing eye from Egypt. That all-seeing, another name for that all-seeing eye is the light bearer. So that was also a demon. That
Mm-hmm.
Egyptian eye, that Egyptian symbol, that Egyptian symbol, or that pyramid and that eye, or sometime I can't describe it, but y'all seen it. It's like an Egyptian symbol of an eye. That's called the light bearer. That's a
Well,
demon.
that's
That's a
Horus. That's the eye.
demon.
That's the eye of Horus. That's the
Right.
yeah eye of Horus. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
MKT. I don't know
mhm.
if he's still in here, but he know a lot about that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, but that's what it is. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm not disputing that. That's what it is, but that's actually a demon. And another name for that eye symbol is that eye symbol of Egypt. It's also called the light bearer, and I believe that
Mm,
that symbol was originated from Satan. And if you look at the first publication from Watchtower, like from Charles Taze Russell, a lot of his publications and even the Watchtower had that symbol on it because
mm-hmm,
they called themselves light bearers. They started out, their leader was Lucifer.
mm,
Secretly, that they were getting that information from Lucifer, the light bearer.
mm.
That's why it was all in the
So,
publications and stuff.
well, Priest Magic said Lucifer is Latin. It's not Satan's name.
No,
Um,
I didn't say it was okay. What Lucifer? First of all, Lucifer is in the Bible. If you look in the book of Ezekiel, the book of Ezekiel in the Bible refers to Satan as Lucifer. So that is
what
what
that
that
did.
is one of his
What
titles.
it depends. It depends on the translation. 'Cause I don't think Joe Witness Bible used Lucifer. Did Joe Witness Bible use Lucifer?
I think it does. Yeah, it actually does.
No, I don't think they use Lucifer. I don't think they use that.
Well, I know it's in the King James version.
Yeah, it's in the King James, but I don't think
But
Joe
see,
Witness Bible used Lucifer.
Jumangi, you got to remember though, the King James version is the most accurate Bible. It
Mm.
is
But
I trust
okay, but you
trust and
okay, but you
believe.
okay, but you if you study like Babylonian astrology, right? Because Babylonians got their astrology from Egyptians, right? Am I correct? The Babylonians got their
No,
astrology
I'm
from
not.
Egyptians, right? Okay. So
Yeah, the first.
Lucifer,
Uh-huh.
yeah, so Lucifer basically is the Venus because when they
Mhm.
studied astrology back in the past and they looked up into the sky, they would give each planet a name because each
Yeah.
planet was considered gods back in the ancient times. So
Right.
Lucifer would have been Venus. That would have been the star that was most bright in the sky because at night the closest planet you've seen would have been Venus. That's the closest planet to us, right? So the morning star, once the sun came out, the morning star, the brightest star in the sky, would disappear. So
Okay.
Lucifer would actually another name for Venus, if I'm correct.
See,
That was
I
a
don't
that
know. I don't know too much about that. Like I can't really speak on that because I never like studied astrology and stuff like that. So I don't know.
yeah, no, I'm saying if you look into history that the Lucifer because the planets we have today is named after Rome.
Okay.
When Isaiah was written, who was the ruling power at that time? Was it who
It
was
was
the
have to
rule?
be
Assyria?
it was Babylon. It had to have been Babylon.
Okay, Babylon. But the all the planets we have today is named after Roman gods. But I'm saying that
Okay.
during that time Isaiah was writing, Lucifer was another name for Venus, because Venus, the star in the sky, because they didn't understand the planets and stuff like that like we do today. So
Okay.
when they looked in the sky, the brightest star in the sky would have been Venus because that's the closest planet to us.
Right.
So at night that would have been the brightest star, and so
Okay.
in the morning when the sun came out, it would have disappeared. So Lucifer was the name for Venus at that time.
But
I'm
see,
just giving you
it's
the
the
historical thing.
I'm not.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. I'm not gonna deny that, but I'm gonna just say
yeah.
this. Another thing I know about Lucifer, and if you know anything about Freemasonry, Lucifer is actually one of the guys of Freemasonry, and also Jehovah is too. Because like I
Mm,
studied a lot about the Freemasons. Yeah, yeah, that's a fact. That's why
okay.
like look, Lucifer is a guy. He's one of the guys that the Freemasons kind of worship or whatever. He is,
Okay.
and like that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's why it's so important to study the origins of
Mm-hmm.
Watchtower, because like I was mentioning before, Charles Taze Russell was a high-ranking Freemason, and
Mm,
that's why that's why, and it don't you don't got to take my word for it. All you got to do, look, it's real simple. All anybody got to do is look at the old Watchtower publications. On the cover of the Watchtower, it's nothing but Freemason symbols. It's all over the Watchtower.
mm-hmm.
It's all over the
Yeah.
Watchtowers from like the 1800s. So this
Yeah. The
man
pyramid.
was
Yeah. The
this man
pyramid.
was a Freemason,
Mm,
and like you know the somebody that's a high ranking, and I don't want to get too much into this because I don't want to get too much
yeah.
off in this, but I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna say a few things about this because this could be saved for another time. I don't want to get too deep into it, but people that are like really, really, really like real, not just some dude with a ring, because anybody can get
What's going on,
a
Nicole?
freaking
How you doing?
right. Not yeah, I mean not just some dude with a ring. Anybody can buy a Mason ring offline, but I'm talking about an
Mm-hmm.
actual like real Freemason or real like high ranking Freemason. These men are into the occult, and these men have
Mm,
certain guys of masonry that they worship, and Lucifer was
interesting.
one of them. And like I'm just gonna say
Well, well,
this.
well.
Uh huh.
Hold on for a minute before you go on, because I mean, and before I go, the views of 55, not my views. Okay, I'm letting him speak. All right, I'm letting him speak because this is his thing. So it's not my views. So if that what he says, but Illuminati. Sometimes we confuse Illuminati with the Freemasons. 'Cause I knew a Freemason personally.
Okay.
Freemasons are not. They're not. They don't. Freemasons, because if you go back to the original origin of Freemasons, Masons are people who build things. A Mason is a
Right.
person who build things. They didn't. They were not worshippers of a certain thing. So sometimes we twist the Illuminati with the Freemasons.
Just look more into it, man. They were doing more
Yeah.
than just building stuff.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm saying sometimes we confuse the Freemason with the Illuminati, and that they're two different groups.
Oh no,
But
I didn't say nothing about the Illuminati.
yeah, no, I'm saying that sometimes like Freemasons were not a religious group. They were people who were building things. So like
Yeah.
the Illuminati were more of a group that were enlightened and had to do with religion. Freemasons were Mason. When you look at the Masons are people who build things. So you had slave labor who built things. Those were enslaved Masons. Freemasons were people who were not slaves, but they were building things. And so that's why you get
Okay.
the two shapes. What's the two shapes of Freemasons? I forgot the two shapes. But the Masons were people who built. Masons are people who build things,
Yeah,
and
it
so
like a
they
yeah. You,
yeah,
you
yeah.
talking
So
about
yeah,
like
so
mm,
yeah. No, go ahead. What was it?
well that G you see on the Mason symbol, that G stand for geometry.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a I
The
forgot what
what
you
the
call it, man, but
compass?
yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like a like an upside down V, look like a kind of
Yeah,
ruler,
yeah,
and it got a G. That G
yeah.
stand for G
Yeah,
for
so the
geometry. That's what that G
yeah,
stands
so
for.
the compass. It was a compass and another
Right.
tool, but the Masons were
A
pretty much
compass and
people.
a G. Yeah.
Yeah, the compass. The compass were building things off of stone. And
Right.
sometimes people get confused with the Illuminati and the Freemasons, but they were different. But the
Yeah,
point I
but
want
like
to
I said,
make,
I don't want to. I don't really want to get too deep into that because like something like that, I would have to like
yeah, yeah,
I would have to like study more about that. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
do know a little bit about it. But all I do know for a fact is that some of those men that are high ranking into that, they are definitely involved in occult and spiritism too. That's
yeah,
all
yeah,
I'm.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna just
yeah,
leave.
yeah,
I'm gonna just leave it.
yeah.
I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, 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 most
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, they would. Yeah, we're involved in that because that and they go back to Egypt because Egypt was
Right.
the origin of a lot of scientific. Egypt was
Right.
the origin of a lot of scientific knowledge and things like Egypt. You
Right.
go back to Egypt. Egypt knew a lot of stuff. They were ahead of their time and things like that. But yeah, I don't want to get too
Right.
deep into that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
a
don't
lot of
want to really.
Egypt.
I don't really want to get too deep into that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Right.
I'm just trying to say 'cause I knew a Freemason personally, and
Right.
they wasn't really into what a lot of the internet and YouTube try to conflate the
Right.
two together. Freemasons
Yeah.
were different from Illuminati, and
Right.
sometimes people kind of conflate those two like they were the same thing.
Right.
Freemasons
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Illuminati
Yeah.
are different things. Yeah.
Right.
But I don't want to say that. What I think I drank a little too much. I forgot the point I'm bringing up. But go ahead, 55 man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay on for a couple. I'm gonna stay on for a couple. We could do another a part three. I think we do a
Yeah.
part three because you got a lot to talk about, man. I know you got a
Yeah.
lot to say, man. You have
Yeah. I had a
how
few
long we
more
how long
things.
you how long was you as witness? How long was you witness?
Like my whole life since I was like a
Yeah,
baby.
so man, you got so much information in your
Yeah.
brain that you got more information than me. 'Cause I became a witness in when I was 21. I started studying when I was 18.
Yeah.
So from 21 to that was in 2001 to 2007. So 6 years. I was in
Okay.
6 years. I'm pretty sure you
Okay.
was longer than me. So you have more
Yeah.
information than me. So you have
Well,
more information than me.
I got baptized when I was like 15,
Oh, okay, yeah. So you have
and
way more.
I'm like in my mid 30s. And like
Yeah.
I
So
was
you have way.
saying about myself last video, I've been an elder. I rose to the rank of an elder. I've been an elder for like 4 years. I served at Bethel for almost 3 years. A regular
Hmm.
pioneer for like 6 years. I built assemblies. I don't know. I lost track of how many halls I helped build. So I've
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah,
everywhere. I've been everywhere and seen everything in this organization. And like I was saying,
yeah. You was
it's gonna take like for y'all to really pick my brain of everything. It'll probably take probably 10 episodes of this.
okay. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I
You
mean?
was
But
deep. Yeah, you was deep. Yeah, you was really deep
yeah,
in. You got really high into the ranks. But
yeah, I was.
I think we could do we do a part three because we've been on for almost 2 hours. I think we do part three.
Yeah.
I want to get back with you, man, because you have a lot to talk about, and it's
It was
like
a few
it's
more
too
things I
much.
wanted to just put on here before I left out. It won't take that long.
Go ahead.
But yeah, what I wanted to do, and like I said, it won't be that much longer. It probably not even probably 10 more minutes because I want to make it under like 2 hours. Um, I just wanted to like shout out a lot of the channels and people that helped me, kind of wake up
Okay.
too. And I just take
Yeah.
a little bit of time to do that, and then we'll probably conclude.
Okay.
Uh, if anybody out there looking for information, these are the YouTube channels that visit, and these are good like XJW. Some of them are still going to the hall, but these are like really smart people. And I'm finna name all the people whose channels I watch and get information from. One of the YouTube channels I love is XJW Critical Thinker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I don't
mm,
want to cut you off, but yeah, AJ, check them out. They are very he's a very knowledgeable individual. He's the one who inspired me to create my YouTube channel. And if you notice, a lot of my information and information they coincide because I got a lot of information from him. So yeah, go check him out, man. XJW Critical Thinking. He's pretty good too. Go ahead, 55.
this is my girl right here. I got to make this one stand out. Has anybody heard of Bridget from Arizona? Please visit her channel, man. This woman
Okay.
right here, this woman right here is amazing. And the thing I love about her, she is very knowledgeable. And what's so special about Bridget from Arizona is that she records herself, like all her channel, every video on her channel is her recording herself talking to a Jehovah Witness. and it's
Okay.
like amazing, man. Like she be like recording herself, like calling the hall, like, and she record the conversation. Nah, bro, like, nah. Look, I'm telling y'all, look, man. If you don't know about her, y'all got to get on her, man. She blew my mind. Like, she be calling like the hall, like, and the phone be like, and they be like, nah,
So she,
dude. I'm telling you, man, dude. It like sometimes it be like funny, but
uh-huh. Yeah.
listen to her, listen to how she talks to you. Dude, Jumangi, go to her channel after this.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah, I think you sent me a link
no,
to her channel. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I think you
want you
sent
to
me a
do
link.
this. I want y'all to go to her channel if you don't know her. I want you to go to her channel when I get off of this. Go to her channel, man. Her channel is called Bridget from Arizona. She be calling the hall. She be calling the hall, and the phone be like, and somebody pick up like Kingdom Hall, and she just come out with like a random question, like, "Yeah, I heard y'all be killing people because y'all don't like let people have blood transfusions. Why y'all be doing that?" And they be like, what? Yeah, but the scriptures say, but man, like her channel be having me like dying laughing, bro. I'm like, this lady is crazy. Like that's what look, I'm telling you,
Oh shit.
every video start with like a phone. It'd be like,
So
like
she got a dog recorded on her cell phone.
yeah, she be like, and that's all it be. Like, dude, I'm telling you,
She, hey,
that's
but she, you
all
know
it
what? You,
be.
but you know what though? She got to be,
It be like so fun. It be so funny, man.
but
It be so
she got to
funny
be
too.
careful. She got to be careful though, because in certain states, like I know in the state I am, there's like a one party rule where the only person who can record you legally is you. But she got to be
Right,
careful though, because some states you gotta let the person know you record them. So I would say
right.
that Bridget, you gotta be careful, man.
Now
You,
sometimes she do. She do. Nah,
yeah,
sometimes she do tell them she taping them.
yeah, yeah,
But like I
okay,
was saying, she gets like call her hard. Like somebody pick the phone up. Oh, ooh, ooh. I love when it be like elder. Cause she
yeah,
act look, she be
yeah.
like this, right? Look, she be like this. She be like, look. When a man answer the phone, she be like, "Are you an elder?" And he be like, yeah. Dude, like,
Yeah,
it be like so funny. Oh my,
yeah, she,
I'm just not saying I was like dying laughing. I'll be on the floor like almost dying laughing. So she be
yeah,
saying, and
she
she be saying
recorded
like the
the,
most craziest stuff.
yeah, she recorded the dial tone. I heard that. She recorded the dial tone. Damn.
Right. And
Yeah.
dude, she record everything. Okay, I'm gonna move on now. Okay,
Yeah, who else you got?
moving on.
Who else you got?
Marcus Vaughn is good. He an
Marcus
ex
Vaughn.
Bethelite.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like Marcus Vaughn.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
okay,
about
yeah.
him?
Yeah, I watched
Yeah,
some of his videos. Yeah, Marcus Vaughn is cool.
yeah.
Was he at
Of
Bethel?
course,
Was he at
yeah.
Bethel?
He was at Bethel. He was at Bethel for like years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Marcus. Yeah, go check out Marcus Vaughn, man. He got the inside scoop on Bethel, man. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. See, I'm
Yeah.
trying to real quick. I'm trying to shout these people out so people in the chat who don't know about it can go over there and get knowledge, man.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
all about building. It's all about because this is a movement, Jumangi.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Most
You
definitely.
know this is a movement, man. So I'm finna shout these people out who help me and build them up. So like I said, Marcus Vaughn, of course, everybody know John Cedars.
Yeah, yeah. John C.
At
Yeah.
least, at least I
But
think, but
okay, but
yeah,
before you go on, man, and I
Mhm.
hope this don't um John Cedars
Yeah.
now
That's my man
I'm
right
not
there, man.
okay,
John
okay,
Cedars
but
is
here
my man right here.
I'm gonna say this about John Cedars, man, and
Yeah,
it's not anything against him personally,
yeah,
but if you are a believer or unbeliever, right, that's your
yeah.
choice.
Okay.
Now, when it came to the elders, 'cause I think he was an elder, they had
Nicole,
to,
Coach D Free is my girl, Nicole, real quick.
yeah,
Coach
yeah,
D Free is my
yeah,
that's my girl right there.
yeah, she's funny, man. I had to tell her
I
that,
love
cause
Coach D.
yeah, you could tell she have a lot of like she have a lot of anger, like, but it's like I didn't mean to laugh at what she was saying, but I could tell
Yeah,
she was hurt by what she was saying, but I didn't want to
right.
laugh at what she was saying, but it's like, God dog, the way she said it, it's like I couldn't help but to laugh.
Like she got like a real like Coach D got like a real like bubbly like she got like a real bubbly like personality. I
No, but
like her
yeah, but
vibe.
she yeah, but
Yeah,
she said I should cuss you out in a minute though, but
no,
but
I
yeah,
know she would.
let
I
me
can tell.
yeah, yeah, but they said about John Cedars though, man, but like,
Yeah,
okay, like you, okay, like you still believe in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
You okay? I don't believe in the Bible, but I don't have no problem with you believing in the Bible. The thing
Okay.
I get with John Cedars is he have a problem with people who believe in God,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
is the
because
thing
he turned to an atheist now.
yeah, and this is the thing this is the problem I have with people who extra witness and they
Yeah.
come out and they still have this mindset that we all have to think the same. This is what I have against John Cedars, that we all have to be an atheist. You don't all
Okay.
have to be atheists, man. I have no problem with you guys believing in God. Believe
Right.
what you want to believe, man. We left this code to say that I believe what I want to believe, but it seems that he has a problem with people believing in Christianity.
Yeah, but
I
I'm gonna
don't
just
believe.
say
I
this
don't.
real quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish your point.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with people believing the Bible. I have no problem believing in God or anything. I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in the Bible, but I have no problem with you believing in that. And I
Uh
feel that some witnesses who come out of the organization, they still think that you should agree with them.
uh
That's what I have a problem with. Why
Right.
you leave an organization that everybody agree the same thing, and you leave and you still have an issue with people don't believe saying you? That's the issue I have with him.
Okay.
But anything else, he's very instrumental in bringing people out because the way he presents it is very reasonable, it's very logic. But I just noticed about him is that he has like some type of bitterness against Christians. Like, dude, like
Well,
you're not an elder no more. Don't
you
if
got you
they
got you
believe in
gotta
God,
you
that's
gotta.
them.
I mean, I know why I understand why he like that because I mean, I kind of you kind of got to put yourself in his shoes because
Yeah,
he
yeah,
lost a lot. He lost.
yeah, yeah,
I think losing his mom, I think the death of his mother and the way she died, kind of like really hurt him. So I mean,
hmm
I can understand kind of why he think the way he think, but at the same time, I give him credit because he is very knowledgeable.
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
also
yeah, yeah,
funny too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's also very funny. Like some stuff he
yeah,
said
yeah,
me, I'd be
yeah.
like
Oh
me like
yeah,
dying
yeah,
laughing too sometimes.
yeah, 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 yeah. No,
So I mean,
I don't, I had no
he
problem
got a
against.
good channel. He got a good
Yeah,
channel.
no, not a problem against him, but I just noticed that some XJW come out, they
Yeah.
still want you to agree with them. Like you still have that JW persona. You see what I'm saying? Like some XJW come out, they still want this group think. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
fuck your couch, man. I'm not like
Okay.
I'm my own individual, man. If I don't agree with you, if you don't, if you feel some type of way when I agreeing with you, go back to Joe Witness, man.
But
Like go
here's the
back with Joe
thing.
Witness to
John,
agree with them. Like everybody their own individual. I'm my own. If I don't agree with you, I'm not your enemy. But I just think that
John
some witnesses,
Cedars J- John Cedars give like the best convention rebut like his rebuttal
yeah,
videos be like so funny. Like I
yeah,
love
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
broadcast and like his convention
yeah,
rebuttals. They
yeah.
be like I'll be like, dude, I'll
I
be on the floor like dying laughing watching some of
Yeah,
that stuff.
I'll give him credit because goddamn, I'm not finna sit here and watch the whole goddamn convention. This dude would sit
Right.
down. Watch. I'm
Right.
not finna.
He break it
I
down
ain't got
for
no
you.
time. I like
Right.
you. Might as well go to Kingdom Hall. You might as well go to Kingdom Hall watch again. I'm not finna watch no goddamn convention, man. I'm like I
Right.
left for that shit. I'm like not finna leave for that shit, man.
Right.
And fit
Exactly.
seriously. So I give it to John Cena for sitting here. He
Right.
spent his time during the day watching the convention. Kudos for you, bro. You go watch
Right.
them down. Commit. I'm not. I'm not.
Right. And
I'm not finna
I'm glad
torture
I wrote this
myself.
stuff down.
I'm not finna torture
Um.
myself to watch these damn conventions. Okay, but
Right.
who else you got, man? Who else you got to
It, it's a lot, bro. I'm gonna try to read them all quick. Like I mentioned, uh, exjw critical thinker, Bridget from Arizona. You still there? Hello. I mentioned Marcus Vaughn, John Cedars, Jay the comedian. I think his name is Phil. Yeah, you there?
I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was like, where you go? Okay, I just start over.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I pushed the wrong button. I got kicked out. Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I thought you disconnect. Okay, like I'm gonna get started from the top, and then I'll touch on a few. Okay, I mentioned XJW critical thinker, Bridget
hmm
from Arizona, who's hilarious, who I recommend. Marcus Vaughn is cool because been to Bethel, got our experience. We talked about
hmm
John Cedars, Jay the
hmm
comedian. That's my guy. Cause I'm from
Okay.
Chicago. I live in
Yeah, yeah.
Chicago, Jay the comedian is a Chicago guy, so he automatically my guy
Okay.
because he's from Chicago. He's funny. I like
Yeah.
Philly,
Okay.
and some of these names are weird, by the way, if you don't know him. Philly Delcy. No, he's really
Okay.
cool. He's really funny. I'll be on this
Okay.
channel. I'll be on his channel saying crazy stuff, be having him dying laughing. Like we I'll be on this channel, man. We be going back and forth in the comment section on this channel, just like dying laughing. So I like
Yeah.
Philly
Okay.
Delphi. Of
You,
course, we
wait.
already.
You said fifth. You said fifth.
His name is Philly. You know, like Philadelphia, like Philly.
Okay. No.
It's
No. I
like
said because
Philly.
somebody said SJW fifth on the thing. I think reason 22.
Oh,
You say
okay.
him? You say him?
Oh no, I don't know who that is. I never seen that.
Fifth
I
SJW.
never I,
Okay.
I never seen
Okay.
XJW fifth. But yeah,
Okay. You.
Philly.
Okay.
Mm,
Hold on for a minute. Before you
okay.
go, HJF. I like him. I think he did interview. I like fifth HJF. I think is his name.
Okay.
He grew up like in another city. Like I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from Oakland, California. He grew up. I
Okay.
didn't know he grew up in Fremont. So we from the same neighborhood. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
But anyway, go ahead, man. That's just a side point. I want to shout out XJW
Uh,
fifth. Is that him? But go ahead.
okay.
Who else you got?
We already mentioned Coach D Free, and she's really really pretty, nice looking woman, nice personality. She's very funny and knowledgeable. So I like Coach D Free. Mark Martin, that's my guy right there too. Anybody, if y'all heard, shout out Mark Martin. That's my man right there. He was the ex.
Okay,
He
yep.
was the elder. He was. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. The reason why I like Mark Martin, because Mark Martin is a lot like me. He was an elder and everything, and he woke up like I did. So I like. Just go to his channel. His name is easy to remember, Mark Martin. If you don't know him, check out Mark Martin. Very, very intelligent. That man know that Bible like the back of his hand.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Berean Pickets. He's an
okay,
older white guy. This man is super intelligent. He was an elder for like 40 years. And he woke
okay,
up, he woke up like in his 70s and he got like a good channel. So Berean Pickets, if you don't know that.
okay.
Watchtower Examination. That's like this Jamaican guy. Also very intelligent. Good
Who is
channel.
he? What's his name?
Watchtower, his channel is called Watchtower Examination.
Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. He's a
You know, he,
7 day
he like a
Adventist. Okay, but he's a
yeah, yeah,
7 day
yeah, yeah,
Adventist.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay,
He
but
he like he
wait,
like this bald
hold,
headed
hold
Jamaican
on,
dude. Yeah.
hold your thought for a minute. Hold your thought.
Okay.
I try to be fair, but I try to be truthful to what I am.
Mm,
If you are a 7 day Adventist and you criticize Jehovah's Witness, you got to really examine your life
mm.
because they pretty much the same thing. They one and the same, really. I mean, if you were a 7 day Adventist, they pretty much okay. Joe Witness, they criticize the governing body. 7 day Adventist, 7 day
Nah, they
Adventist, the
don't
governing bodies.
they don't believe the same stuff.
Well, they kind of do. They do. They
Nah,
but
it's big differences between them.
the only thing difference is the Sabbath. But they look at that prophet, that lady. It's a lady
Yeah,
they look at.
Ellen G. White. Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to one of their meetings, and I'm like, God, dog, they mentioned this lady more than John the Baptist. I'm like, wait a
Well,
minute, hold on for a minute.
that's one of the that was a prophet. She claimed to be a prophet, and you know what? By the way, Jumangi, you know that she's the one that came up with the Michael Archangel teaching that Watchtower stole. You know that, right?
Well, no, I think it was Calvin. I think it was Calvin because no, it was actually Protestants who actually before her, like even during the
She
16th or
but
15th
she was
century.
preaching that too, though.
Yeah, she preached about saying even before her. I think it was Calvin. Calvin came out with the whole book on Michael Archangel that they taught that Jesus was Michael Archangel. So yeah, Joe
Okay.
Win is not the originator of Jesus being a Michael Archangel.
Nah,
But
they
I'm saying I
not.
went
But
to yeah.
uh,
I
no,
went
go
to a
ahead, go
7
ahead.
day no, I went to a 7 day Adventist church
Uh
after I
huh.
left the witness and because I'm like they're the closest. They don't really do holidays, but when I was sitting through that meeting, they mentioned G. White more than they mentioned doggone David or any other Bible thing. I'm like, okay, so what if I'm a 7 day Adventist and I don't agree
Right.
with G. Wright? I feel I would be the same. I feel that they would treat me the same way if I was Joe Witness and I agree with the governing body because
Well,
they
she
treat
was
G. White. Yeah. They treat Ellen G. White as the same way that the Joe
Yeah.
Winters treat the governing body. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, she was involved deep in the occult too. She
yeah,
claimed to
yeah, yeah, most
be
definitely.
her origin, the story. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, that takes too long. But she was into the occult, and she claimed to be
Hmm.
having visions where she would
Hmm.
communicate with God through visions. And she claimed that she had a vision where God revealed to her that Jesus was Michael the Archangel,
Okay, but
among
after
other
what?
things.
But after
Huh?
what? She got hit on the head with an acorn. She got hit on the head with acorn.
She
Now,
got hit in the head with a she got hit in the head with a rock, and after that, she
yeah.
said
So
she started having visions.
I have visions
Yeah,
too if I get hit in the head with a rock, especially somebody threw it at my head.
well,
Cause I
she
mean,
was
she was
just
sitting.
she
Yeah,
was a
I would have
spirit.
visions too.
She
Yeah,
was she was a spiritist.
yeah.
She was just somebody. She was just somebody who practiced spiritism, which is a spiritist, and she was
Yeah,
having visions from demons, which she thought was from God, and they were just
yeah,
telling her a bunch of crazy stuff. That's all. That's all it
yeah.
is. That's in the story.
No, no,
That's in
no.
the
I
story
know that
today.
she. But I'm saying if you look up her history, it's like
Right.
she was sitting in a tree and an acorn hit her dead in her head. If you get
Okay.
hit in your head, you're gonna start seeing things and hearing things you ain't hear because you got
That's
hit in
what
your
she was
doggone head.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I would be a prophet too if somebody threw an acorn at my head. But
Right.
anyway, but
Yeah.
anyway,
But
yeah.
moving on.
Yeah, who else you got?
Moving on. The last one I mentioned was Watchtower Examination, and that's my
Hmm.
buddy right
Okay.
there, man. I like. Dang,
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot his name. I forgot his name. You say, but anyway,
Winston, was it Winston? Was it
I
Winston?
think yeah.
Yeah,
His
Winston.
name is
Yeah, yeah.
Winston, right?
Yeah,
But he
Winston.
is
But I mean, yeah.
mhm,
But I mean, Winston, though, Winston, okay, if he spends much time talking about 7 Day Adventist as do Joe Winters, then he'd be getting somewhere. But I'm saying I can't be no
yeah,
in another cult and then try to expose another cult.
yeah.
It's like
But I mean.
I'm a damn hypocrite.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean the stuff he was saying about Joel Winters is the truth, so I ain't
Yeah,
finna
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I recommend Watchtower Examination.
Yeah.
TLG Life. It's a relatively new guy. He was in the organization for like 60 years and he came out. So TLG Life is another good one. Check him out.
Mhm.
Now this last one I saved for last, and I saved it for last for a reason because this guy really terrified me.
Mhm.
Now I'm gonna say this: if you're not ready for some deep stuff, don't visit this channel because you're gonna have nightmares after this. This is the guy that revealed to me the true origin of the witnesses and all the occult and all the other stuff that they was into.
Mhm.
Like I say, when I visited his channel and I binge watched it, I was literally shaking and I couldn't sleep
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
this was like the straw that broke the camel's back. This channel and it really shook me to the core, and I was literally terrified because I basically found out that the God I was serving wasn't God, and after that I was scared because I didn't know what to do, and I was like, okay,
Mhm.
if this is not God I was serving, who is God? So
Yeah.
I was pretty after I saw this stuff, and by the way, it's all
Yeah.
true.
Mhm.
After I saw this stuff, I was shaking. Like, no, I'm talking about I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. Like I was to the point where I would stay up all night just reading,
Yeah, yeah.
just researching the stuff he was talking about to see because I was so disturbed at what I was seeing. I had sleepless nights just researching everything because I couldn't sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm gonna just say this. This channel was not for people who don't want to wake up. This channel was not for the faint of heart. And there's gonna be one more like this I'm gonna mention. But the name of this channel is called Decipher. His channel, he named his channel Deciphering Warship. I know that's a crazy name, but oh my God, if you want to see what Watchtower has in the dark, Go to his channel. It's called Decipher. It's called Deciphering Worship. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
All right.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah. Like I left off on Deciphering Worship. That's the one that had me terrified and had
Okay.
my soul shaking. Like I was literally shaking. Like, dude, like, listen, man. Everybody, listen. I was watching his channel and the stuff he was showing about like the watchtower. Like, dude, my hands was literally shaking. Like I was shaking. Like some of it I had to turn off and like come
Yeah,
back to it. I was like, hold on, this too much for me. And
yeah.
like I say, like his channel was just like had me like
5 minutes.
I was losing sleep, bro. Like I say, I don't
Okay.
know. This for people that's ready. Deciphering Warship.
Over.
Next,
Yeah.
that was it for like all the shout outs. But I do want to say
Oh,
this.
okay.
I know most people heard of Crisis of Conscience from Ray Franz, right? You heard of that book, right?
Yeah, yeah. I got the book, the reprint that just came out this
Okay.
year. I actually went to the store and got it.
Okay, good, good. So you know about it. Now, for anybody looking for some real deep truth, and I touched on this briefly, Crisis of Conscience is actually on YouTube. I actually listen. You can actually listen to the book on YouTube. I listened to not all of it because it's a big book, but what I was doing on the way to work,
Left it out. Left it
it's
out there.
on YouTube. You can
Huh?
go to YouTube and like listen to the book, have it read to you
Probably.
like on YouTube. So for those looking and searching for what that book is about, and I recommend it, Crisis of Conscience is on YouTube, and it can be like read
Okay.
to. It's like on YouTube, and
Okay. Okay.
also his other book.
Well,
Hmm.
that's good to know though. I don't want to
Yeah,
anybody who want to read it because I actually bought it. My wife bought it for me.
yeah,
She went to Barnes and Noble and ordered for me. I think the lady was doing like private orders. I don't think she sent it out to the store. I think you had to actually order it and she would send it to the bookstore. So yeah, I got the
yeah,
books. But if you don't want
yeah.
to
So
spend the
I was
money, if you want to spend the money, yeah, YouTube. This guy, yeah, he's saying go to YouTube. So yeah, that's a great start.
it's all on YouTube, bro. Because I be riding to work. I be driving to
Hmm.
work, listening to it on YouTube.
Yeah,
And but I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot the channel was on, but I mean, it's easy to find it. Just go to YouTube and type in "Crisis of Conscience." You know, a bunch of stuff gonna come up, and guess you'll find it. But anyway, I be riding to work listening to "Crisis of Conscience," like and like there, it's like somebody read. It's like somebody reading it to you. But
yeah.
anyway, "Crisis of Conscience," like I said, is on YouTube, and also his other book because he wrote like two or three books. His other book is called "Search for Christian Freedom." That's
Okay.
also on you. That's like his second book after Crisis of Conscience, and I
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
listening. You know,
yeah.
it's like an audio. What you call it? It's like an audio book. Like
Yeah,
I'll
it's
be
an
like,
audio book. Yeah, audio
yeah,
book. Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
like, I'll be like driving around in my car, I just listen to it being read to me. And
yeah,
man, bro, dude, the stuff, the stuff I be hearing, I'll be like, what? Listening to them books, I'm like, man, this stuff crazy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
But I don't wanna keep y'all here too long. But could I just
yeah,
want to say a few things about Crisis of Conscience. And mind you, this book really woke me up, man. Because I know we've been on long, so I don't want to talk too much. But it's just a couple things I got to say now. The thing that really opened my eyes about Ray Franz. Now, if you read the book Crisis of Conscience, of course, this was a governing body member. This man was on a governing body. Of course, most of us probably know that. I just want to say that for emphasis. But he goes into detail about the stuff they talked about in the governing body meetings. And one of the
yeah.
things that really woke me up was this. I don't know if you saw. You probably saw. I don't know how much you read to the bullshit, Mike, but I'm just let me just talk about it. I don't know if you've seen the part where they were talking about 1914 and like they
Hmm.
were trying to change the meaning of this generation doctrine they got. It's a whole part in there where Ray France was talking about. They had a meeting about, okay, you know what? Everybody getting old and they dying, so they're starting to realize that this generation teacher we got is basically bullcrap. They had a little governing body meeting about that, and Ray France talked about it, in the Crisis of Conscience. And he said they had a whole meeting debating about when they should move the goalpost or when they should basically move like the start of the last days back and change the teaching of the generation. He talked about this in Crisis of Conscience. And one thing they came out with was they were going to move the generation to start in 1957, some year in the late. Don't quote me because I don't have it in front of me, but I read it, so don't quote me. I might be a little bit off, but the governing body had a meeting. They were saying, "Hey, man, we should change the teaching of just generation," and say it didn't start in 1914. They said that we should change the start of the generation to 1955 or 1957 when the space race started, because Jesus said in the Gospels that there's going to be signs in the heaven, moon, and stars, and the heavens will be shaken.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said in the Gospel. So the governing body had a meeting about that scripture, and they were going to change the start. The governing body had a meeting. Ray France said in his book, he said that they were going to change the start of the last days of this generation to start in 1950 and make a prophecy, basically fulfilling the what Jesus said, the heavens will be shaken and the stars will fall from heaven and all that, and the power of the heavens will be shaken. They were going to change that teaching of the generation in the last days to the 1950s when like the people went to the moon and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about all that in that book, but they shot it down. They said no. They said nah. At first they were gonna do it, but they said at the last minute they changed their mind. They said nah, let's just stay with 1914.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that show you, man? Like that shows you that this is just a bunch of men. This is just a bunch of men sitting in a room making decisions about their opinion on what they should use to manipulate people. This ain't guided by no guide, and that's why he left. Why do you think he left? Ray France didn't leave for no reason. He left because he was sitting up in a governing body and they was talking about crazy stuff like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
why he. Why do you think he left?
Mm-hmm.
And like
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
say,
yeah.
I don't know how far you read into that book, but that book is like so good, man. It's like he just break down
Yeah.
everything that he break down like a lot of the like false doctrine and stuff that he was sitting there with when they was making them. He was basically there when they was making the false doctrines, so
Yeah.
he know it wasn't coming from God.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was it was basically just coming from those men on the governing body.
Exactly. Most definitely. Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man. Hey, you want to do a part three, man? We could do a part three, man. I know you have a you seem to have a lot of information that you want to bring out, like in what it seems like my little brain tells me is that you have a lot to bring out, but you don't want to like overload people. You want to bring out a little at a time.
Yeah.
That's what I bring. That's what I get from you.
Well,
So
yeah, it has to be that way.
yeah, so you want to try to do a part three, man? I mean, you got a lot to talk about, man, and I don't want
Yeah.
to. And sometimes I might cut you off because some things you say kind of I don't want to say trigger me, but some things you say bring up something in me that I want to express.
Mm.
So I would like stop you to express it because it's like wow, man, like I know a lot of witnesses who sit in that Kingdom Hall feel the same way I do, and a lot feel the same way you do. You know what I'm saying? But they can't articulate it. And sometimes I feel I can articulate things that some
Yeah.
people can't. So I mean, you want to try the part three, man? I will try part three with you, man. I don't, I mean,
Yeah.
I like this conversation, man. Don't think I'm not. I like the
No.
conversation with you, but it's like
Yeah.
me personally, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Kingdom Hall since 2017, and like,
Okay, that wasn't that long
I'm
ago.
almost like let me explain real quick. I'm almost 40 years old, right?
Okay.
I spent 17 years at the Kingdom Hall, and it's like life. You only get one life, right? This is my philosophy. You only get one life to live, and if I were to
Uh-huh.
spend my whole life, even if I'm not in it, thinking about this journey, because I feel life is a journey. I feel you're going to meet people that's going to enhance your life or take away from it. And if I
Yeah.
spend my whole life um embezzled or enamored with this journey I had, I would miss the point of living. Like this was this experience I had in the Kingdom Hall for 17 years. This was a learning experience. but I
Okay.
don't want to spend my whole time, my whole rest of my life, um, enamored or blocked on this part of my life. I feel that living in that cult was a section of my life that will help me later on in my life to enhance. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're
I'm
saying.
gonna try to use a like analogy from I used to play video games like Link. I used to play Link, right? And so in Link, you would go through different levels and you would talk to different people and they give you different sort of information to help you on your journey, right? You ever
Right.
play Link? You ever play Link?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So I feel that life is like that. Like doing life, you talk to people, you meet people that's gonna give you key information that's gonna help you on your journey through your life. And you could
Yeah.
use the information to help you. And I think that even though being Joe Winters my 17 years, it kind of set me back. It made me bitter.
Yeah.
It disappointed me. It made me disappointed in my life.
That's the
And
same. That's the
and so
same. That's the same thing it did to me. But
yeah.
I don't want to talk too much on. But it is just something I want to say before we conclude.
Hmm.
It won't take that long.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But now I just want to give a testimony of something that happened to me. You know, like I said, it won't take that long. Um, cause I know you got like family and stuff too, so I won't take
Yeah,
too
yeah,
long.
yeah.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
man, just it's hard for me to put this in words. But like, you gotta understand, man, I was scared. Like when
Hmm.
I was reading and I was learning, when I was learning like the truth, I was scared, man. Like
Hmm.
no, I was scared. Like no, I was scared. Like I was scared. Cause
Hmm.
like and
Yeah.
I was basically finding out like, man, this I was just like, this guy ain't real. So I was like, what? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I like, dude, you don't know. I was almost having like panic attacks. I was like literally
Yeah.
scared. And like, I
Mm.
remember one day I was sitting in I remember one day, I got an apartment. I was sitting in my apartment and I never forget, man, all these videos, all these videos I watched and all this stuff, man, it just was hitting me and I was scared. And
Hmm.
I ain't know what to do. Dude, I was so scared. I ain't know how to pray. I was like, okay, I can't pray to Jehovah. I was like, do I pray to Jehovah? Like I ain't know how to think. I was like, man, Jehovah, do I pray? I ain't know what to do. I was like, Jesus, how do I pray to you? I ain't know. Like I said, I don't know what to do. So I was just like in fear. I was scared. I was like, is demons finna start attacking me because they know I know it's a lie and they mad. I'm like, demons finna like get me now. So oh, he know the truth now, man. Let's get him. So I'm like, is the demon finna get me? So I was just like in my house, just like panicking. I'm like, I ain't like my heart was beating. I was drinking. You know what I mean? I was like in the house going. I was in the house tweaking. I was like, man, I'm finna get if am I finna get possessed because I like that I found out the truth about the. You know what I mean? I'm like, is a demon finna come out the wall? And like, yeah, you know the truth. We gotta take you out now.
Yeah.
You ain't finna tell
Yeah.
nobody about this. So I was just
Yeah.
like, I was scared, and I was like, man,
Hmm.
and like I was just thinking, and like, man, I started, you know what? I took everything off my shelf because I had all my talk outlines. I had all the literature. I got a bookshelf. I got a huge bookshelf in my apartment, and it's like it was full of like watchtowers. It was full of like watchtower books and stuff. Jumanji, let me tell you, man, I got up, I took all that stuff and I put it in some boxes. I didn't even want to see it no more. I got up, like I remember, I was so shaken. I got up and I took all that stuff out of like my bookshelf in my den. I got a big apartment, like my bookshelf, like in my front room. I took all
Hmm.
that stuff out and put it in boxes, and I like stuffed it in the closet. That was the last time I
Yeah.
looked at it. And then I remember
Yeah.
I started praying, like I started praying to Jesus stuff. Like I started praying to Jesus. I was like, Jesus, man. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what to think. I was like, I can't think. I was like, please. I remember, like, dude, I was almost crying. I was like, Jesus, man. I don't know. I was like, are you real? I was like, I don't know what to do. I can't think. I was like, what's real? I was just asking, like, what? Tell me what to do. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
Yeah.
like, I was just thinking. I was like, man. like, and I'm baptized. Am I gonna gain salvation? I was like, am I gonna die? Because I've been
Yeah.
tricked. You know, I was praying about like all
Yeah.
that deep. I was like, should I get rebaptized? So that's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I think
Um,
all people come out feel that way. They scared, like, oh man, I'm
yeah,
gonna be
like dude,
destroyed
like
when
no,
it's
like
in.
dude, I
Yeah.
like man, I couldn't sleep. Like dude,
Yeah.
like Jumanji,
Mhm.
look, bro, I'm telling anybody listening, like I was so scared I couldn't sleep. Like dude, like
Mhm.
Jumanji, I lay down, I lay in my bed and I start sweating, and I just get up and be just
Wow.
walking around like crazy. I couldn't even sleep because
Wow.
it's shocked. But anyway, I don't want to be talking too long. But like man. I was
That's
thinking about
crazy, man.
what I want to talk about is this real quick. I want to talk about rebaptism, and I just want to say
Okay.
this to anybody who might be thinking about that. And I'm concluding now. In conclusion,
Okay.
I just want to say that I'm not gonna tell nobody what to do about getting rebaptized. If you got baptized as a Jehovah's Witness, and like you see those questions, weren't right or whatever, I'm not gonna tell you what to do about that. But I will say this: I didn't get rebaptized. I thought about it. I came to the point, Juman, I came to the point where I was going to go to a church and get rebaptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I was just about to do it, but I got so scared, man. And like I say, man, it's
Mhm.
I'm just being real, man. Like Jumanji, this stuff I'm talking about, man. That's why I want to do this.
Yeah.
This is why I
Yeah.
want to do this, man, because this stuff on my it been on my shoulders, and I've been going
Yeah.
through like a lot of I've been going through so much torment, man. 'Cause that's why I didn't know where to go. Like I was praying, and I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, man, I was telling Jesus, I just want to serve you. I just want to serve you.
Mhm.
But I was like, what should I do? And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, it was it's I can't even describe it, man. I'm gonna leave this for the next video because it takes too long. So I ain't
Yeah.
gonna talk too
Yeah.
much
I
longer,
feel.
but
Yeah. I
like
feel you.
like
I feel.
we'll probably talk about more later. But like, I was praying about my next step, and like I was saying, look, right, like man, I went to this church. Real talk. I'm gonna end with this. I went to this church, and I was like, man, I want to get baptized, and they set me a baptismal date, right? I ain't gonna say what or whatever, because I didn't do it. I didn't,
Mhm.
but I was like, man, like the stuff I was reading, I was like, man, I gotta get rebaptized, man. So like I said, I went to the
Yeah.
church, and they was like, yeah, man, you come here and get baptized like Friday, and like,
Mhm.
man,
Yeah.
when that day came, like that Friday came, dude, I was shaking. I was like, I was so scared. I just like I didn't go. I didn't go.
Yeah.
And then again, I started praying, and I was like, Jesus, man. I was like, what should I do? I was like, should I get baptized again? And you know what?
Yeah.
And I listen. He answered that prayer.
Mhm.
I swear on everything, man. He started as soon as I prayed that. Like I went to my phone, and a whole bunch of stuff about baptism just came out. I was like, okay, this is an answer right here. I mean, a
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff. And
Yeah.
listen, one of the videos that came up was from Mark Martin. That's why I recommended him. Like I mean, as soon as I opened my phone, I went to YouTube. It was like this had to be some kind of answer, man. It was just like it just seemed like normal. Like it came up and it was Mark Martin, and he was like, "Should you get rebaptized?" And I almost fell out. And I watched that
Mm.
video, and he was like, "You know, what I'm saying I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna just let y'all watch it. I'm gonna leave y'all in suspense." But like I say, I didn't do it because I just want to say this in conclusion. If you were a witness and or whatever you were, you thinking about getting rebaptized if you were already baptized. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you what to do because I didn't do it, but I'm gonna just say this, pray to Jesus, tell him you want to serve him, tell him that you believe that he your savior and you want to give your life to him. That's what I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I didn't decide to go through with like the baptism in the church because here's the thing, man. I started praying and meditating and thinking, and the Bible say you're supposed to test every expression to make sure it's from God. And like I started thinking, man, after I prayed and I saw the video and I prayed again, and I was like, wait a minute. I didn't test the expressions coming out of this church. I was like, what if I jump out the fire right into a pot? Or jump out the pot and right into another fire?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
leave one
Yeah.
place and end up somewhere worse. You know what I mean. I don't want to get in a
Yeah.
worse
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
That that's
Yeah, I
that's
got you,
why
man.
that's why I chickened out. But like, you know, I was just thinking that just be careful what you do, Maybe
Hmm.
just pray to Jesus and ask him to direct you. And if you're sincere, he'll continue to draw him to him. But I just want to say in conclusion, don't jump the gun, do nothing crazy, because you can end up in another organization and be in a worse situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to but yeah, we could try another one, man. 'Cause I know you got a lot to say, but what day would you like to try another one, man? Because I wanna
Oh
kind of
man,
get to
what
the
day
nitty
is this?
gritty of you. What day would you like to do? I got
Today,
I got Sunday
I
this
think
week.
huh?
Well, yeah, only that I really got is Sunday, and I'm
Okay.
all day off that day. But next week it'll be Wednesday, but I'm not sure because they really have me going in. I'm really on call, but Sunday is the only day I really have off.
Let's
But
do
other
it
day I'm
Sunday
off
then,
on
man.
call. You want to try Sunday?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I'm going by your schedule.
Okay. So we could try Sunday same time, man, 7 o'clock your time. And I think
Okay.
this is a good time. It's the middle of the day for people like 'cause I'm Pacific time. I'm Pacific time for
Yeah, you
those
like
who
you
don't
like two
know.
hours behind me.
Yeah. So yeah, he's I think what are you, Central Midwest?
Yeah, I'm
So
I'm I'm in
yes.
I'm in I'm in Chicago. I'm central.
Chicago. Okay, yeah. So he's 2 hours after me. So yeah. So I think we try
Yeah.
Sunday, man. Then we can kind of, wrap it up, get more out of it. Man, I think we got a lot out today, man. You got a lot out today, and
Yeah,
it's
y'all
like
y'all gotta forgive me though. People in the comments and everybody. I'm from Chicago. People from Chicago and the Midwest, they tend to talk a lot. It's just how we are. Like Midwest Chicago people, they talk a lot and they like know where all the good food at. That's just how we are.
yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah. Chicago is yeah.
that,
Chicago is
that's
that's
just
a
the way we was born. Chicago people just talk
yeah
a lot.
yeah yeah. Chicago is crazy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah
yeah. It's
yeah
wild. It's
yeah
wild out here, man. It's wild in
yeah
my
yeah
parts. That's true.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So we'll try this Sunday, man. I'll hit you up and let you know what time we'll try it. And yeah, man, it was a good talk, man. We went a lot over, but man, we got a lot of information out, man. So yeah, I
No, but
appreciate
that's
you coming
okay,
on.
Jumanji. Look how many people. Look how many people's listening though. You had like a lot of people in the comments and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, most
Shout out to
definitely. Yeah,
everybody who came and chatted and commented. I know I'm sorry again. I apologize because I talk so much. I couldn't really talk with y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, we see y'all
yeah,
comments and y'all have a good night. But yeah,
yeah.
Jamal,
All
send me
right.
the link Sunday, man.
Okay. All right, I will, man. Thank you, man.
All right, good night,
Y'all
y'all.
have y'all a good night. Yeah, y'all have a
All right.
good night, man. All right, peace.
All right.